says that we are.
And we are live. Yeah, it seems like we are live.
You get that remote, buddy.
Oh, there you
So
go. Hey, everybody. Matt Ryan and Harry Terjanian here. Live for UFC 258 on Combat Culture, across the Combat Culture Network. That is Harry Terjanian and I'm Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan.
Our hair progressively getting longer.
Yeah, this is the most bizarre. Okay, so my thing is getting super long. I'm getting a little bit of that. I got past the Javier Bardem from No Country for Old Men phase, which I go through.
The Mo Howard?
Yeah, which is not great, but we got past that. You are more Billy Connolly this time than ever.
Head of the class, Billy Connolly?
Even farther than that. Yeah, Scottish, later years, early years Billy Connolly, because his hair was brown when he first started.
That's fair.
It's a little Billy Connolly knowledge. If you don't know Billy Connolly, look him up, appreciate him while he is still here.
Exactly.
The great Billy Connolly, UFC 258. 258?
Yeah, 258.
258.
After a while, these all kind of just run together.
Blend together. Well, also the news. The weird part about UFC is like there's announcement and news and rumors about 250. They don't do it like in chronological order. So
the pay-per-views are in order.
Yes.
And then the fight, the assorted other cards are UFC on insert thing here.
Right. So you see news about 259. It's hard to keep track of.
Which 259 Stipe and Francis Ngannou too. The battle to save the rec center.
Okay.
The winner of that is going to fight John Jones.
Really?
Yeah,
okay.
Dana announced that yesterday, according to TMZ. That's the
plan.
Yes.
Okay.
But John Jones is John Jones.
Right. There's a lot of downtime between now and then.
Yes.
For him to steal a fucking airplane. Steal an airplane or commandeer a helicopter. I mean, it's John Jones. This anyway.
He is the embodiment of GTA 5 as a person.
Yeah, it could happen at any point with him. So, yeah, it is GTA 5 where he could take a Mack truck and slam it into a Walmart. We don't know. John Jones is John Jones. And that's
checking in
kind of why we love him.
Yeah, why we love and hate him. And also Colby Covington might be fighting Leon Edwards.
Oh, boy. Okay.
So I can't wait to see Leon Edwards emotionally, physically, and mentally destroy Colby Covington, who I buried in my column today on MMAmania.com.
Okay, what did you have to say about Colby?
I call him what I call him every time. I call him a hack.
Yeah, he's a bit. I know he's trying to be entertaining. He's trying too hard. He's trying too hard. He's like, even professional wrestlers are like, that's too much, bro.
Yeah.
Kane and The Undertaker are like, hey, dial it back.
Right now in the cage, we have Anthony Hernandez versus Rodolfo Vieira.
Yeah.
In our main prelim of the night.
Okay.
Just about 30 seconds into round number 2. We'll get you guys started. Before we get anything going here, we are across the Combat Culture Network, so we're glad that everybody's joining us. Shout out to number 1 George. He's here. Bong hits and head kicks. Trevor Porter calling us we are 2 fucking clowns. So thank you for
first one of the night.
Yeah, no. Robert Clifford before that.
Robert
Who the
Clifford.
fuck are these guys?
Okay, fair enough.
Mario A. Velasquez. Very nice though. What up?
Robert Clifford might just legitimately be asking, hey, who the fuck are these guys? We don't know the tone. It's written in text. But there's no way to positively say, who the fuck are these clowns?
Well, we did go to clown college. We went to Hollywood Upstairs Clown College.
I did not graduate.
No.
Though. I was 2 credits shy. I should have gone back. It's ironically PE.
Yeah.
I didn't,
Pie eating.
Pie eating. So we'll be here all night for your clowning needs. If you want serious MMA commentary, well, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, but from the beginning and end of the round, we're serious.
Oh, right.
In between rounds and in between fights, this is a goddamn pie fight.
There's a lot of time to fill.
Yes. Chip Pilar saying, you guys guitar emoji. So I believe that means you guys rock. Yes, we rock.
Thank you very much.
But we've got an interesting card tonight. We're coming off the Conor McGregor fight. And not as fun as we wanted it to be. The inside leg kick is the enemy of the MMA commentator.
Oh yeah, I mean that'll ruin a good time.
And this fight is over, and it seems Hernandez has got the win. Oh my god!
Yeah, busted him open the hard way. Hernandez
making the jerk off motion.
What does he got? Oh,
it is an ear. Oh yeah, they taped up a gauge.
They taped up the ear gauges. Okay.
And it looked like he had a tattoo of Jim Croce on his arm.
I hope it is.
Yes.
I hope you're right. I don't think. Statistically, the odds are not in your favor on that. I wish that was true. I wish he was repping Jim Croce. But a little sportsmanship. Hernandez, who is doing his best to look like a little bit like Bad Bunny.
A little bit. WWE superstar Bad Bunny.
WWE superstar.
Oh, he crushed him. Hernandez crushes him with a right hand and an overhand left. We're looking on the replay here. And then just a kick to the jaw. I don't know how my man stood up after that, but a decimation by Hernandez here in round number 2. Oh, an elbow to the side of the head. That's where the laceration was.
I could see it.
Yeah,
you could see it get cut open.
Yeah. In real time.
Burst open.
Opens like a fucking window shade.
And then he wins with a
guillotine
chokehold. Is it guillotine or guillotine?
I think guillotine's
is one of those that is pronounced either way.
Yeah, green jacket, gold jacket. But shout out to Mike Mendoza watching us in the chat. We do the entire main card, so starting in about 10 minutes, the main card of UFC 258 will begin on ESPN Plus.
Yeah, technically, we haven't clocked in yet.
Yes, this is the pre-show. This is the pre-show, and then another 15 minutes of us stalling and trying to make the most of this.
Because it takes them 15 minutes to get to the actual fight. The over-under, I mean, they've been consistent with 15 minutes. What are you going with tonight as far as the start time?
I think it's going to be around 10:46. I think we're going to see that. We're going to have a very long night at the office.
Okay. Well, it is. There we go. We're with the sound.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
We're adjusting it, doing a little adjustment.
Yeah, I think we should be good. I think you talk a little louder.
I do. Okay.
Yes.
So you can pull it closer towards yourself. Or start screaming.
Yes. Well, I will be screaming a little bit later on tonight.
Screaming during the commentary.
Yes.
You handle the play-by-play and do a great job doing it.
Thank you.
This
and
new 8K cam, is it 8K?
Yeah, 8K.
What happened between 4K and 8K?
They just decided
they jumped to 8K.
Yeah.
Because I remember hearing 4K was all the rage. I heard a little rumor about 5K. And that thing, they jumped right to 8K.
Robert Clifford saying over under is your weight. What? I don't even get that as a joke.
Over under is your weight.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got the makings of a joke. You could workshop that into a joke. You're in the right direction.
This is an open mic level joke. Like he's reading it like it's on a notepad that he's working it out of.
The thought writing exercise where he's just spinning. All right.
Very Janine Garofalo.
Yeah.
Bum B saying I don't feel like this card should be a pay-per-view. Well, let's go over the card and let us know your thoughts in the chat. We're going to start tonight in the middleweight division. Maycee Potolo facing off against Julian Marquez. And that fight will be starting us off. We also have at the featherweight division, Brian Kelleher will be taking on Ricky Simon. Also, Kelvin Gastelum returning to action, Harry. He'll be fighting Ian Heinisch, who had a TKO win over Gerald Meerschaert back at UFC 250, which ended a 2-fight losing streak, while Gastelum's on a 3-fight losing streak. So that's a make-or-break fight for Gastelum. And then in our co-main event, it'll be Maycee Barber returning to action after her loss to Roxy Modafferi back at UFC 246, 8 pay-per-views ago, which I think was before the pandemic.
Wow.
Going up against Alexa Grasso.
I don't know who any of these fucking people are. I know.
Well, you know who Kelvin Gastelum is.
Yeah, no, I know Gastineau. I mean, but aside from Gastineau, this could be
Gastelum, not Gastineau. He's not a fucking right end for the Jets in the 80s.
You're right, Gastelum.
His daughter didn't have an E-reality show 15 years ago.
He's still making waves. He's still bothered by that. Apparently, that
really?
He doesn't have the sack record. I read something that he doesn't think that it should be
Strahan
because I guess Farr kind of let him have it.
Maybe you shouldn't have done all that cocaine. Maybe
it's a good counter argument.
The fucking New
maybe
York.
if you did less cocaine, you would have had more sacks. Or maybe
won a
you should
playoff
have
game.
done more cocaine and gotten more sacks. I don't know.
Maybe win a playoff game.
That's true.
That's a thing you could have done. And then our main event, the mega powers are going to explode, Harold.
Oh, boy.
It is training partners turned rivals, turned opponents tonight for the Welterweight Championship. Kamaru Usman going up against Gilbert Burns, El Dorino, in our main event. And we've had a few fights get canceled.
Now enemies.
Yes. What was that? What 80s film was that tagline from?
I don't know. It sounds like one, right?
Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh my god. Tango and Cash, I'm going to say probably.
Fuck. Ugh. I've never seen that movie.
Tango and Cash?
No.
I don't think I've either. I don't know if it's a real movie or just one that I've seen. Maybe they did clips from it.
You know why we know that? Because during WCW street episodes on TBS, guys movie night or guys like movies.
Movies guys like.
Yes.
Yeah.
In between dinner and a movie, which I believe was our moderator Stephanie Sotilli's favorite program on the TBS.
Dinner and a movie.
That and Andy Griffith reruns, I believe, and I'll be getting a message from her telling me to go fuck myself in like 90 seconds. But that's where I remember from. Movies guys like.
Guys like. Yeah, Tango and Cash was in there. I haven't seen it. It might hold up. Most of those 80s action films kind of don't, but Die Hard's pretty good. We'll get into that. Let us know your favorite in between. It's not just about MMA tonight. Let us know your favorite.
Well, it is,
80s.
but...
Well, not just. I mean, people, listen, in between MMA and people calling us fat clowns, you know, if you want to let us know what your favorite 80s movie is,
I'll bring this up.
Yeah.
Cub Swanson on the Twitter machine said, all MMA journalists should have at least 3 amateur fights. Now, not all...
Street fights?
No, amateur mixed martial arts fights. When were you last in a street fight?
I mean, it's got to be like 15 years
I was going to say, like, I've known you for nearly a decade.
Yeah.
Nary once have I seen you get into any sort of scrap that isn't self-loathing.
Emotional
Yes.
fights? I've had plenty of emotional fights, but that's not what he's saying. And I agree that those don't count because then you have a whole line of people. And most journalists, by the way, who cover any type of combat sports are self-hating. Let's be honest. Most sports journalists, people who host a podcast, really anyone who gets in front of a camera or a microphone hates themselves just a little bit. But I don't know. I haven't been in a fight. 3 amateur fights. Well, we all remember how great Howard Cosell was at football. I know... that
he actually was a middleweight champ for a brief period.
It was very odd. Very odd.
It was 82.
Yeah, it wasn't early, and you thought he came out of retirement. He took off his jacket. He had to fill in for a fight when Ken Norton couldn't show up. And Cosell said, "I'll handle this."
Now I'm going to enter the world of pugilistic prostitution. Yeah. I had an audiobook of Howard Cosell's called I Never Played the Game. And this was after he got fired from ABC. This is like
he recorded the audio?
Yes, he did. And it was the angry... It was the hit 'em up. It was the diss track of audiobooks.
Who was he laying fire to in that? Or just... I know he hated jocks that did... Ironically, he hated Everything You Want.
Yeah.
He hated jocks that did broadcasting.
All right, so
Here we go.
Let's go to the chat really quick. You guys are better than Rogan and Cormier. Thank you, Danilo Menard.
We appreciate the compliment, but no need to take down Rogan and Cormier. I love Rogan and Cormier.
We don't have hundreds of millions of dollars, so we are neither Rogan.
Yeah, you know what? They're doing fine. Yeah, we need the compliments. We're much better.
Answering your question from before about your favorite action movies, Jay Anthony on YouTube saying Howard the Duck. Dave from New Jersey saying The Karate Kid. JF, early candidate for Line of the Day.
Yeah.
Throwing back to our darker days as interns, line of the day.
Yeah.
I was conceived during the viewing of Tango and Cash, so I've been told.
That's confusing on many levels. Why that had to be... I can see
Kurt Russell making someone amorous, but Sly Stallone being on the screen.
I mean, you're thinking of Sly Stallone now. You got to remember at the time, I mean, he was a sex symbol. You know? I mean, you like it or not, ladies love Sly. Sly wasn't lonely.
So on Valentine's Day, to get your woman in the mood, watch Tango and Cash.
Tango and Cash and let her get amorous. Let her get a bit randy in a movie theater.
That just made me uncomfortable.
In your acid wash jeans, apparently.
Oh my Christ. Zodiac asking what happened to the stream during UFC 257. Well, thank you for coming back, Zodiac. What happened was Comcast. The internet service provider for the studio here tonight in the Tunnel of Love in New Jersey.
There you go.
Bruce Springsteen song.
Hey, you're going to beat that, Bruce.
Yeah.
You're going to beat that DUI.
From November?
From November that we just found out about. News travel slow, man. In Paramus or wherever.
Well, if you listen to a Bruce Springsteen album, like after 85, they're all just slow and plodding.
Yeah.
It's like an 8-minute Max Weinberg drum solo. Which I'm not mad at, but he did. It does feel like he wants to be prog rock. But the stream died because our internet died. We got back on the air on Combat Culture. You can watch part 2 of that on our YouTube channel. We called the McGregor-Poirier fight on there. Alan Epstein joining us tonight.
Comcast does suck. We're allowed to say that, right? Yeah, they suck ass.
They don't pay us for anything. Hello from Indianapolis. That's from Alan Epstein on the YouTube chat. Regards to the dog, Olive will be giving dog commentary throughout the night.
Yeah, you might hear a little bit of that. That's for a different broadcast. That's so this is like our version of the Puppy Bowl.
Yes.
So he's Olive. Excuse me. I don't want to
misgender my dog.
I don't want to misgender your dog. Whatever she never told me what she identifies as. So it's fine. A dog. Okay. Well, the dog will be doing some UFC commentary, so you might overhear that Olive the Fat Baby on Instagram, right?
Yes,
Correct?
Olive the Fat Baby on Instagram. I tagged her in my Instagram story a little earlier today because she was going crazy in the studio. Robert Clifford saying, I'm just messing with you guys. Nice back pedal.
Fair enough. Hey, listen, whatever. We appreciate you joining us and being on board here as we switch over to the main card, which is taking place UFC 258, a.k.a. The Shit Show. I mean, all these fighters, I don't know who most of these people are. You could tell me that this is the new cast of Police Academy, the reboot that they're making.
This actually is just us doing a live commentary of the new Police Academy movie. Shout out to Matthew Erickson in the chat on Facebook joining us here tonight. Thank you for watching us. What's up, Matthew? Johnny Utah.
Nice.
I'm
nice
an FBI agent, Daddy.
Speaking of 80s action films.
Lock of the night. Kelleher isn't going to be able to avoid getting taken down by Ricky Simon. Let us know what you guys think about the fights here tonight. We'll give you, we'll be talking to you guys in the chat all evening long. And a shout out to Stephanie Sotilli, running things on the combat culture side of things. She is our web admin and our social media moderator. So be nice to Stephanie, or she will come after you.
Oh, definitely, if you get a chance, ask her when we're going to show the fights.
Yes.
She loves that. She can't get enough.
She totally doesn't hate that and not want to throw a whiskey bottle at your head.
Please continue to ask. And then also well into the stream, too. Like an hour or two in, when you haven't seen any fights, please ask again. And then
continue to ask all night long because we love it, too. It's not annoying when we're trying to have a conversation with people watching the show and being complete douchebags. Eric _Dr. Deplorable _ Morano asking, is Steve Gutenberg still alive? Yes.
He very much is alive. Last we checked. I believe, Steve Gutenberg is alive, but we're losing a lot of those cast members of Police Academy.
Bobcat's still here, though.
Bobcat's here. Michael Winslow is still here. So we got some big-time players. Tim Kazurinsky is still here.
Mm-hmm.
We just, I don't think we have Tackleberry.
We
lost Tackleberry and Hooks. We just lost Hooks.
Kim Cattrall's still alive, unless you're Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, that's true. Well, she's not doing anything else.
Yeah. Well, they're bringing back Sex and the City.
Are they? As a series?
Yeah, on HBO Max, I believe.
And she's not on it, huh?
No, Kim Cattrall will not be on it.
What is that about? Oh, well, if you have any gossip, in addition to action movies,
Sex and the City gossip,
for all 3 ladies watching, if you could give us some of your Sex and the City gossip, we will read that as well.
Jesse Goss saying Screech. Yes, Screech passed away.
Screech did pass away.
The last thing Screech did publicly was box someone we know, Matt Wolf, in the Showboat in a 10-second, if...
A schmaz, can we say, or no? Legally?
I can't. I legally will not say.
I don't know any information. I'm just saying...
Let's just say, if you remember the finger poke of doom from WCW...
Okay.
Just imagine that, but... like the Music Man.
And that's what killed him.
No, that's not what killed him. No.
Several months ago?
No, he sadly passed away of cancer.
My only Screech from Saved by the Bell story was they had booked him at New York City's Laugh Factory. Ooh. And the cost of his rider or whatever was so high that they had to charge $40 per ticket to go see Screech for Saved by the Bell. And a total of 2 people came out to see him.
Yikes.
Now, I don't say that to insult the man, except for the comics who were doing a show in the other room, the smaller room. He didn't want us in the green room with him. We were not allowed to go into the green room because that was his green room for the night, and we took great joy in watching him have to perform his hour because the owner made him perform his 45 minutes in front of 2 paying customers and 7 very sarcastic comedians. So that's my memory. Rest in peace.
Jesus.
Screech, Dustin Diamond from
He's already buried. You didn't have to do that.
Hey, don't do awful shit when you're alive. It don't mean nothing to me when you're dead.
Oof.
What am I supposed to do? Pretend I was happy?
That's fair. Zodiac, are we going to be covering Sleepy Ben's fight on the 17th of April? We only cover pay-per-view, so whatever the fights are on pay-per-view, we will be covering them.
Is that still on, by the way?
Which one?
The Ben Askren...
Yes, that fight is still on.
Okay.
If we get paid to do it, we'll do it, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do that one in time. But if you want it to happen, at MMA Mania, at Bloody Elbow, and add us on Twitter, at MRyan Consulting, at Harry Terjanian. The official pay-per-view is out of the package. We are looking live at the UFC Performance Center.
So that was a video package. That was a 4-minute video package because it is 10:04 here on the East Coast. As John Antics continue with the mustache. Yeah. Interesting choice, John.
And we've got Scott Johansson in the chat. Shout out to Scott Johansson. How you doing, man? Dave Rumsfeld saying, Harry is the Bodie of MMA podcasting. I've always said that.
Oh.
I don't know when he said. I don't.
Bodie? What's
from
that?
Point Break.
Oh, geez. Yes. Thank you. I'll take that.
John Anderson
Great
saying,
movie,
I'm here to support my favorite announcers. Are an awesome fight.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you building us up. It's going to be a fun night no matter what. We have fun at these things no matter what. And sometimes these cards that look like a shit show going in.
We've not had a stinker yet. We've come close.
I don't remember the last one that we've did. I've always had fun doing these, so I don't remember the last one. If we've had one where the card was shitty. It's been a while
shitty.
If it has.
Scott Gordon saying, well, this pay-per-view is so weak, we need you guys to try and make it palatable.
Well, that's
we're
going to
try. And
that's what we're here to do.
Scott Johansson asking what we're drinking tonight. Harry, as tradition, is drinking
water
out of a Nashville Predators mug. And currently, I am drinking Thunder Peel from my favorite brewery, Flying Dog.
And you did get this. You did steal this from a bar.
No, I got that from the NHL.
Officially from the NHL. My dad stole a coffee mug when I was performing at Caroline's Comedy Club because he felt that the price of coffee he just wanted coffee, and I think they charged him $17 or $14 for a coffee at Caroline's.
Yeah, that tracks.
He felt that if he was going to pay that amount of money, he should leave with a coffee mug. So that's why I can't take my dad to any of my shows anymore because
that's
he
the
becomes
reason.
A klepto.
Because once you pay for the price of admission, everything's like, I'm going to take this and take that. Take somebody's hat.
There we go. So we see Joe Rogan, Daniel Cormier, John Anik all together but separate on the screen here.
Looking like various high school teachers.
That's true.
Daniel Cormier looking like the kind-hearted English teacher. Joe Rogan looking like the associate dean. And John Anik looking like the history teacher that everybody's like, he's kind of nice.
Which one of them is the one who causes them to tear up their textbooks and then stand up on their desks?
We didn't have that in my high school, but we did have textbook riots.
Textbook riots?
Yes.
What is this now? Explain this
at the High School of Telecommunications, Arts, and Technology in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, New York, go Yellow Jackets, there would be mass throw. You remember the chair riot from ECW?
Okay.
Imagine that with textbooks.
Gee, how does that start? Someone throws
a textbook. Someone else throws a textbook. I put my head down.
So it's like a Three Stooges pie fight.
Yes.
But because it's Brooklyn textbooks.
Yes. And someone made a teacher cry once because they stole his sandwich. I saw a woman once tell a teacher to go, just stand up, miss, go fuck yourself, and then just leave.
The teacher left or the student
left? The student left.
That's one way to quit your job.
This is all in the same science room. All this took place in the same actual classroom.
A lot going on there.
Yeah.
What kind of biology classes were you teaching? Good Lord. All right, as we odds subject to change here. They're giving the odds of the
Usman a -265 favorite according to DraftKings. Burns a +215 underdog. We'll be giving our picks throughout the evening. Plasma on the chat after Jeffrey Burton said, not a strong pay-per-view, should be half price. That's not how pay-per-views work.
Unfortunately, no. It's your choice to buy it or not if you think it's worth it. Like I said, though, some of these pay-per-views that don't look that strong coming in, just because they don't necessarily have the name value, doesn't mean these guys don't put on a hell of a fight. For each of them, this is obviously important. For some of these fighters, it's their first time at the big show.
Yeah, first pay-per-view fights for a lot of people.
So it doesn't always disappoint. That's what I like about mixed martial arts. I think I can usually watch any two competitors compete, and it has the potential to be entertaining. So we'll see. We'll see what happens as Megan O'Leary sets up with a new setup there in front of the screen.
Well, yeah, because they're in the Performance Center again. So
That's
tonight,
right.
They are in the UFC Performance Center, as we said before, and I just said there. So that means it's a baby cage. So expect a lot of these fights. There's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot closer, a lot more fenced in, literally. Less room to move around. So expect a lot more action. Expect not a lot of movement or not a lot of distance.
Not a lot of running.
Yeah.
And also, the end of Fight Island, I think, as we know.
For now,
I think it's done. I don't know. I can't imagine them going back there now that they're able to operate and are allowed to operate in Las Vegas, Fight Island has somehow become COVID central.
Yeah. The UAE undergoing a large spike in...
Did the UAE government, the United Arab Emirates government, shut it down? Or
I believe
UFC
the UFC. The full story is available on MMAmania.com. Shout out to the bosses at the mothership. They're going over the rules of the Octagon right now. 3 judges will score it, 3 5-minute rounds, except for championship and main events, which will be 5 5-minute rounds. This is the main event I am looking forward to. This is going to be a great main event. We've got a lot of the reason why I'm so interested in this card is to see how these undercard fights play out, because we're coming off that last card where we had Michael Chandler make his
great
debut.
Undercards, with the exception of the main event, and even the main event was entertaining. It just was not the lengthy main event we expected out of Conor McGregor. A disappointing reemergence for a guy who only fights once a year. Much like the groundhog, we got to wait another year before we see Conor McGregor come out again. If given the track, he only fights once a year now. So, and we're still doing it. We're at 10:10. We got 2 more minutes here,
at minimum.
And let's see here. All right, they're doing the graphics and everything, setting up.
We'll be setting up for our first fight of the evening, which will be Maycee Potolo versus Julian Marquez. That one will be at the middleweight division. Fire Paint 33 saying, "Button your shirt, gross." I had my shirt.
Yours or mine?
Mine. I have my shirt open.
Oh, okay.
Someone just doesn't like my chest hair. Shout out to Trevor Hackett coming to us from Idaho. Let us know where you're from in the chat. Let us know where you're hailing from, where you're watching tonight. Let us know what you're sipping on. As I said before, I am drinking a Thunder Peel, which I'm going to get another one of.
There you go. Let's do that before the start. We're getting Trevor Hackett, Yo-Yo from Idaho. God bless you. You're the one who's in Idaho. Wowie kazowie. Button your shirt. It's gross. The Conor McGregor versus Tony Ferguson makes sense. I mean, it'd be an interesting fight. Those two fighters are always entertaining to watch. So the two of them together would be fantastic here, as we are now at 10:12. This is going to be the record so far. Another minute here, and this is the longest. This is the longest amount of time before the fight actually starts on a UFC card in recent memory, as they continue to show video packages as we gear up.
I'm saying 10:16.
You're saying 10:16?
10:16.
We're at 10:12 now. I usually go with 10:15. I'll do Price is Right rules and go underbid you by a minute.
We got Dave Rumfield watching it from Auckland in New Zealand. Devil Dog 8614 from SWFI. Blue Coder saying more chest hair. Robert Clifford watching from Chicago. Trevor just had a double hip replacement, brother.
Oh my goodness. Well, hopefully you're able to relax and enjoy the fight with us.
And we have our first cage walk of the evening in that 8K.
10:12, they made it.
Yeah.
Wow, they still made it. Julian Marquez.
We got Plasma watching from Queens. We got Jeffrey Burton, Escape from New York. Arizona in the house tonight. Robert Clifford watching from Chicago, sipping on a Miller Lite. James Clark in Arizona. Scott Johansson watching from New Mexico, sipping on a natural ice.
Thank you for joining us here tonight.
Brandon Frakes watching from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Milwaukee
is the Native Americans would say.
And it's minus 15 outside his door.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. That's
why? In Milwaukee, it's that? Oh, yeah. I mean, it is Milwaukee. Forget it. Just because they make cheese and they have some great independent music scenes out there, I forget that it's still in the middle of nowhere, freezing cold. But bless you for being there.
Number 1, George Bong hits from Michigan. Chris B. 135 from Detroit. Jeff Miller from Connecticut. MV Triple T from Seattle. Zodiac from Indiana. Trevor Hackett's got a foot of snow out there. Christ.
Oh, my goodness.
It's _the_kid 916 on Twitter from Sacramento.
Julian Marquez here. 4 first-round finishes. Finished all 7 wins, 6 via knockout. Awarded UFC contract on DWCS. What that is, Season 1, Week 4.
And this is his 4th fight in the UFC. Biggest UFC card / fight to date. 7-2 in his career. Defeated Alessio, coming off a loss, his second pro loss to Alessio De Chirico back in July. And he'll be going up against Maycee Potolo in our opening card here tonight at UFC 258, as said before, and will be said like 19 more times
there you
tonight.
Go.
That's Harry Terjanian. I'm Matt Ryan. We're so glad you are joining us here. Number 1, George is 9 degrees where he is. Fire Paint 33 from Minneapolis. at minus 18 degrees.
Wow, okay.
Dustin Whipple asking, do you show the fight or not? For those who are asking, it says radio-style play-by-play commentary. You will be watching us. We will be watching the fights. That is how this works.
And another, as Maki Potolo makes his way, another fighter with ear gauges tonight, apparently, that have to be taped up, representing New Zealand.
No, Hawaii.
Is that Hawaii?
Yeah, it's Hawaii.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's draped up behind him.
He's coconut_bombs with a Z on Instagram. Maki Potolo 1-3.
What is Hawaii? Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
No worries. 1-3 in his last 4. That's the entirety of his UFC run. His only UFC win, Harry, was a TKO win over Charles Byrd. Is even when it comes to submissions. He is 3-3 when the fight ends up with a submission as the cause. 7 wins by knockout, 3 wins by decision, knocked out twice, and submitted twice in his career. Walking tonight 13-7. And Jesse Goss saying, I need a bandana. No.
You need a bandana?
I need a bandana.
I mean, yeah.
Am I the guy who wrote Infinite Jest?
You could look a little Macho Man Randy Savage. You could look like the Lost Savage brother. The Lost Poffo.
Harpo Poffo.
Harpo Poffo. As we see here, Maki Potolo getting ready. 6 first-round finishes. He finished 10 out of 13 wins. 7 of those with knockouts, 3 submissions, and awarded UFC contract on DWCS Season 3, Week 4. So they're digging deep for some of the stats here. They're going specifically on when the contracts were awarded because these fighters are, this is their first big sort of fight.
This is the biggest fight of their careers, Harry. Yeah. And Michael Brown from Baltimore saying, you guys are great. He enjoys listening to the show. Dustin Whipple joining us from Oklahoma City where it's 14 degrees and drinking a Bud Light. Matthew Erickson, y'all do great commentary. I appreciate it for pay-per-views like this. Can't justify paying the $70 because I'm not Bezos.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Another line of the night contender, Patrick Kelleher Cruz on Facebook. How much time left? You talk much.
Where is he from?
I don't know.
You talk much.
To tell the tape, both of these guys are 30 years old. Marquez with the height advantage at 6'2" to the 5'10" of Potolo, both walking on the scale at 185 pounds. Potolo, even though he's got the height disadvantage, he has the reach advantage, 75 to Marquez's 72-inch reach, and Bruce Buffer looking like the world's finest maitre d'.
There we go. I think dressed up like an usher at Radio City Music
Fair
Hall.
enough.
Old school.
Fair enough.
Either way, looking fantastic. I still want to know what he does with all those blazers. There's no way he holds on to all those blazers.
He hangs them from the fucking rafters of his home. I'm telling you, that's what he does.
I mean, it's going to look like a Persian rug store at some point. But God bless Bruce Buffer. As we see Julian Marquez gearing up here.
That 8K camera is startling for these. Because you can just see him and the State Athletic Commission official in perfect clarity.
And then everyone else is blurred out.
It's the John Panette filter in reverse.
I don't know if I like this the 8K thing or not. Because
I don't hate it.
It's just some of the stuff is out of focus, though.
Well, it's out of focus on purpose to draw your attention. Welcome to Tech Talk.
Yeah, but I mean, Julian Marquez for that second was out of focus. As the closer they get, I think Maki Potolo is...
Shout out to Jesse Goss for donating $5 to the cause.
Yes, thank you.
If you want to drop a super chat in, let us know. Put it in throughout the night. James Clark wanting Burns to win. Usman has had his reign. John Cale saying, watching the guy from Lost do play-by-play. I guess that's me.
Is Herbie? Is that what he's saying?
I guess so.
Which one? That could go either way, because I don't remember Lost. It's a bit dated. And the most unique sponsor tonight, by the way, the new sponsor that I've noticed that doesn't seem to make sense, Zappos.
Oh, Zappos.
Zappos.
Yeah. Both men touch gloves, and here we go. Low kick from Potolo, head kick. Potolo flying and getting Marquez bounced against the cage. This one might get over early, and now double underhooks by Marquez trying to take down Potolo. Potolo now in control. Marquez is back against the fence. Now trying to find a way out of it is Marquez with just under 20 seconds gone by in round number 1. Starting off hot and heavy, Harry. And now maybe trying to do a bit of a hip toss here. Potolo, foot stomp by Potolo on the left foot of Marquez, which is pressed against the fence. The back and shoulders of Marquez now pressed against the fence. Knee off of the clinch, a quick clinch here. Collar and elbow clinch by Marquez, who was pressed up against the fence. 4:16 left to go, and a left elbow, followed up by a couple of right hands by Potolo, trying to go for the takedown again. Stuffed by Marquez, but Potolo will get it, and now almost a guillotine. Marquez almost got that. Potolo squeezing his head out.
And Potolo grapevining the legs here. Marquez holding on for dear life, trying to catch his breath. He is in bad trouble, but able to hold Potolo down. Almost like Potolo's a little bit tired as well from that, but he's...
Potolo went 0 to 60 on that.
He knocked him into the cage pretty hard a couple times early on, and right now Marquez trying to just catch his breath and push his way off.
Working from the bottom here is Marquez. 3:38 left to go. Potolo with a couple of left hands to the midsection. Marquez trying to go for an arm bar or trying to pull something here from bottom, trying to transition out, and now into a variation of what seems like side control with Potolo's legs over the right leg of Marquez. Marquez trying to find a way out of it. 3:16 left to go in round number 1. And now Marquez giving up his back, trying to rotate over, trying to get back up. Potolo controlling the position from the side. Now he's got it, trying to go for the RNC. Has the left arm underneath the jaw of Marquez, who is on his side, trying to find a way out of this under 3 minutes to go. Marquez trying to press off the cage. Now his back is on the cage, on the floor, legs akimbo. Potolo in a variation of side control, trying to find a way out of it. Left hands now from Potolo.
Some great wrestling, using his leverage, Potolo, to not let Marquez get off the ground and allowing to give him, Marquez again giving his back. Takes a hammer fist.
Yeah, eating 2 left hands straight to the jaw. Potolo has been in control for the entirety of round number 1. Now giving up his back is Marquez, and then 1 knee down. Trying to stand up, trying to get up, but he is gassed here with 2:19 left to go in round number 1. Potolo. Now both men standing. Reverse waistlock applied by Potolo. Tried to go for the takedown. Marquez staying up, staying on both feet, not taken down yet. And now a foot stomp by Potolo, trying to keep Marquez in place like he's holding down the leash of his dog. Marquez's right shoulder pressed into the fence, trying to find a way out of that reverse waistlock. Now switching is Marquez. Now he's trying to press Potolo against the fence, but he'll go back, pressed up against the corner of the octagon. Marquez in a little bit of trouble here with 1:43 left to go, and another takedown by Potolo going for the back. Marquez gets right back up. 97 seconds left to go in round number 1.
Yeah, and Potolo just squeezing him again, not letting go of that waist lock. Now Marquez just trying to walk out of it, but he's still pressed against the cage by Potolo, just continuing to just make him work for it.
Trying to shoot for that single leg takedown, Harry, with under a minute and a half left to go in around minute 20 to be exact. Right hand by Marquez, just trying to push and pry his way off with not a lot of time left in the round.
Potolo's round for sure so far, unless something drastic happens here with a minute 10 left. And again, I don't know if he's going for a takedown. Now he's just pushing his shoulder
Potolo
into
driving
Marquez.
That left shoulder into Marquez. Another foot stomp by Potolo. 1 minute exactly left to go in round number 1.
Just pressing him against the cage. Now trying to trip up the leg. Potolo's trying to take the legs out from underneath Marquez.
And Potolo and Marquez putting his leg out. Little bit of a hip toss, but Potolo staying upright, and Marquez with a standing guillotine. Marquez trying to lock in a standing guillotine. Potolo trying to push the hands away. He cannot. And now an underhook and into a collar and elbow, but Marquez lets go of the submission after the collar and elbow attempt, trying to go for the double underhooks. Not attempted, needed a body by Potolo, who's pressing Marquez against the fence. What a first round, and now a hip toss attempt by Marquez, trying to do a judo throw. Will not be able to pull this one off.
So far, 15 seconds left in this first round, and Potolo's just pressing him against the cage. Marquez
and an elbow and a right hand from Marquez. Marquez trying to throw the knee, will not land. Both men fatigued and tired. Push kick by Potolo, trying to keep his distance, feigning a right hand as Marquez, and both men survive round number 1.
Marquez did not have a lot of energy left. Those punches, I mean, he was trying to go for some fire there, but he was clearly exhausted. As we go to the corners here.
Shout out to Blair Marani saying you guys are great, keep it up.
See if I can hear this. I'm going to try to adjust the audio piece. I cannot. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, Marquez's corner saying, watch the tie clinch. You can't let him push you. Got to pull that left, spin off. He's throwing a lot at him. He's going real fast. I think it's not a great strategy. You see with the uppercut from Potolo.
Potolo controlled the pace of the round early. Here, if we were looking at this round, I would give it 10-9. I could see a 10-8 here because Potolo controlled the entire pace of the round, but Marquez nearly pulling off that guillotine, staying in it.
That was a
crazy
moment for a second after all that. Had him in the guillotine, and he was using that height advantage. Potolo barely pulled out of it. But here we go. We're gearing up for round 2. There we go. A lot of punches from Marquez.
And Marquez coming out strong. He eats a left cross and a head kick from Potolo. Marquez standing in the pocket. It's not going off the center line. Both of these guys throwing bombs here. Swinging for the fences like it's home run derby. In a middleweight bout, round number 2, that's Harry Terjanian. I'm Matt Ryan. Marquez controlling the center of the octagon, trying to lead Potolo in. Throws a left. He checks a leg kick from Potolo. Overhand right misses. Now just pawing at him is Marquez, not landing a lot there. And both men breathing heavy, breathing from the mouth, trying to gain control and just throwing lefts and rights. Marquez, the last one to land a right hand, an overhand right. Now an uppercut by Potolo, met by an overhand right of Marquez. Marquez blocks a head kick attempt from Potolo. Body kick landing by Marquez. And we get our first dick kick of the night.
First dick kick, everybody. Dick kick brought to you by Toyo Tires. The first sponsor I see. And Potolo is going to take a breather here. How much of the 5 minutes he will use.
Shout out to Cheeto Ortiz. What's up, my dudes? What's up, sir?
That's a great name, by the way, Cheeto Ortiz. Shout out to the real Tito Ortiz, who just got kicked off his.
Did he officially get kicked out of City Council?
I think they just kicked him off the committee or something.
He's no longer president pro tem.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he kind of grazed the, for lack of term, the dick and balls of Potolo. I forget that we don't have to be professional. You won't hear the term.
And they keep showing it. He just caught it. It grazed him. It caught him in the shorts, and Potolo kind of delayed it. We're back to action here, and just throwing bombs at each other. Marquez slips, gets back up, and Potolo with the takedown, controlling the side now, double hands. Interlocked around the waist, a waist lock, pardon me.
Potolo grapevine in the legs here, trying to keep it down. He's got his foot in the cage. Referee makes him stop that. And again, a waist lock. Marquez missed a lot of those punches. He's been throwing wild punches the whole fight here so far in these first 2 rounds. As, again, Potolo pushes him into the cage here, takes him down.
Potolo in control here, 3:30 left to go, going after the right arm. Isolating now Marquez, giving up his back. Potolo in control from now a waist lock, trying to grapevine the leg is Potolo. 3:16 left to go in round number 2. Marquez spins out of it, but gets taken down again by Potolo.
Potolo doesn't let go of that the waist lock.
And now Marquez trying to break it, trying to find a way out of it. Both of these guys have to be tired.
Yeah, here, the same deal. I mean, Marquez, again, missing wildly with those punches, and he ends up against the cage here. Potolo controlling everything, and he's trying to get out. Oh, elbows from Potolo.
Now trying to scoop up the double underhook. And now another guillotine attempt. Another choke attempt from Marquez. Potolo on the ground trying to find a way out of it. Marquez on top now, craning the neck of Potolo. Potolo in trouble. Marquez trying to cinch in the choke with 2:30 left to go. Can he pull off the upset? Can he piss people off and fuck up the over? No. We are getting close to 2:20, and now Potolo in trouble. Marquez has his back and now trying to throw hammer fists. 2:15 left to go, so if you bet the over, it's a good day for you. But Marquez turning the tide of this fight in a moment, trying to steal this round and maybe finish off Potolo.
Continuing rabbit punches, side hammer fist to the side of the head. Potolo's moving around, trying to squeeze out of it.
And he Potolo gets him up, pulls Marquez through, kind of loops him like he was tying his shoe. And now Marquez on his back looking up at the lights and Potolo in control.
And Potolo on top of him, just exhausted from having to escape that. Trying to get a knee in there, but Marquez blocking it with his leg work. And a weird positioning here. Both fighters kind of tired here, wrestling around in the center of the cage. Potolo on top.
Potolo now in control. Marquez trying to bar his left arm around Potolo, but opening up the ribs. Potolo just punching right into the ribcage. 119 left to go in the round. Potolo almost looked like he was going to lose this round and lose the fight, and now Potolo might be trying to pull a submission. Marquez in trouble. Potolo's bicep underneath the jaw. 6 minutes and 14 seconds of control time for Potolo. Just about a minute and 1 second for Marquez, and just under a minute remaining in round 2. Trying to turn onto his back. Potolo trying to pull the choke here, trying to get the RNC. But now in trouble is Marquez, much like the real RNC. Potolo trying to find an option here to finish this fight and not make it go to a third round. He cannot get comfortable here, even though he has Marquez on his back.
40 seconds left. There's still a little bit of time here. Potolo still driving those fists into the ribs. Marquez at least on his back. He finally wasn't giving up his neck for the rear naked choke. But he's trying to squeeze out of it. He might want to ride this out, although he's getting hammered in his ribs.
Potolo just pinata-ing the ribs of Marquez.
I mean, that might be 30 shots to the ribs in this round. Oh, he's giving up his back here, Marquez.
Marquez
position.
Trying to turn over here, try to get back up on his feet, try to press up and drive. But with 7 seconds left to go, all he has to do is survive. 3 seconds left to go. Elbows from the bottom. Marquez trying to fight out of it, and we will go to round number 3, Harry. That had twists and turns. It was like a Nora Ephron movie, but no happy ending just yet for either fighter.
I mean, who do you think won that round? Well, let's see. Potolo's corner saying, I want you to breathe. He's electing not to sit. Everything you've been working hard for is on the other side of this 5 minutes. Listen, I do not want you shooting with your head low. Anything you're doing needs to be chest to chest, pull counters, and now we go to Marquez's corner telling him to bring the fucking heat here. Throw punches down the pipe.
This third round, we ain't going to the scorecards. I think someone going to die.
This is a bizarre fight at any given point. It's been a lot of Potolo, and then he finds himself in a bizarre position. Several times was almost a victim of a guillotine choke.
Joe Kale saying Joe Piscopo in the chat. LOL at Matt reading the comments. Yeah, guys, what the fuck is going on in the chat? Why are you guys arguing? We love you all. You are all number 1 in our hearts. Here we go with round number 3.
Confusion. Potolo was going for a handshake?
Yep, he's sign of respect.
Okay, here we go.
Ding, ding. Both men throwing left hands, low kick, spinning back fist by Marquez after the low kick by Potolo. Spinned him around like a top nothing landing. Now Marquez putting Potolo's back against the fence. Potolo throwing stiff right hands. Marquez landing with a right.
Marquez missing a lot of those shots though. Not very accurate here. Potolo bouncing around.
He feigned that left-right, did Potolo, then landed a right-left. Great strategy there, trying to step in with that jab. Steps in with that left hook. Potolo landing right on the mark from Marquez. 422, and Marquez gets down to one knee. He Kaepernicks himself after a right hand from Potolo.
I don't know if he slipped or if he got caught with it because it looked like he landed on Potolo. Potolo eats one.
And Potolo's got a mouse underneath his right eye here. Left hand, right hand. Now Potolo in trouble. Marquez tried to go for the Muay Thai clinch and the knee could not land it. 4 minutes left to go in this one. Left hand by Potolo.
Potolo looks a little bit groggy from those punches. But now he's fighting back there.
And Marquez just looks like he's chasing windmills here. He might be fighting shadows in a second. 3:50 left to go in round number 3. Potolo hurt. Both of these men are feeling the effects of this fight. Left hand. Potolo gets caught by Marquez in a clinch. Marquez gets Potolo busted open on his right eye. Marquez with a knee and a spinning back elbow with Potolo against the fence now trying to go for the standing guillotine. Gets the knee and an elbow. Can Potolo get this fight back on track, or will Marquez steal this one in the third? Right hand missed by Marquez. Now a takedown attempt by Potolo. Sorry, Harry.
No, it's all right. He's got him against the cage here. Oh, he's trying to take him down again, but another guillotine attempt by Marquez.
He gets the takedown, but in the almost cinched that guillotine again. And now a double underhook from the bottom by Marquez. Under 3 minutes left to go. Also trying to protect, interlocking his legs against each other, trying to make sure Potolo doesn't press and go into top position.
A hammer fist from below on Marquez.
Transition into side control. Marquez putting his back against the fence here. This fight getting closer and closer the deeper it goes.
I mean, this could be anyone's fight. Again, wrapping his legs around. Oh, going for a rear naked choke. Marquez in a bad situation.
Potolo he has the back of Marquez.
Marquez has his arm.
He's trying to push. Marquez trying to push the foot of Potolo away. Trying to make sure that he does not let him slip. Trying to slide through. The referee
Marquez
checking.
has it in.
Marquez in trouble. Potolo, it could be trying to cinch this one, but no. And now Potolo in trouble. Marquez back to a standing position. Takes the back of Marquez. And, pardon me, Potolo. And is driving rights and lefts into the midsection of Potolo. 2 minutes left to go in the round. And Marquez trying to fight back into this one.
Potolo on his hands and knees, just eating hammer fists to the side. Finally, he's on his feet here, and Marquez just pushes him against the side of the cage.
Guillotine attempt by Potolo. Sorry, Harry.
No, that's fair enough. And another attempt, but Potolo squeezes out of it. It's back and forth. 1 minute and 49 seconds left in this third and final round.
And Potolo has his hands underneath the right leg of Potolo, trying to sneak another single leg takedown, but Marquez still standing, tried to go, switches out of it. Both men standing again and trading. These guys need to get a fight of the night bonus no matter what happens here. This has been a war.
Potolo trying to sweep that leg of Marquez. He is still standing up against the cage. The minute 25 seconds. An elbow from Marquez. But a waist lock again from Potolo. Both fighters really tired here.
Round 3 significant strikes, Harry. 30 for Marquez, 10 for Potolo. If Marquez can stay this course, he could win this round and may be able to get a draw or a split decision. Oh. And now just unloading on Potolo is Marquez. Marquez with a knee to the head. Marquez getting almost shot with the takedown. Trying to go for the guillotine again from the floor is Marquez. Under a minute left to go.
Both fighters on the ground here. Oh, Marquez in a bad position.
But rolls it through and gets into a variation of a snapmare and a guillotine and now cradling and now spooning. And Marquez gets the submission in what can only be described as a fetal position guillotine.
And out of nowhere, Julian Marquez, in a fight that he was losing at various points in a dangerous situation.
Fucker.
Unbelievable. After all that effort from Maycee
Potolo was winning the fight. He had the first 2 rounds.
No doubt about it. On the scorecard, I think Maycee Potolo was going to win this fight, but Marquez just kept always putting himself in a position to put in that guillotine chokehold and a variation of the guillotine chokehold that we and a rear naked choke here if you see the highlights. And we're going to see he landed that punch and slipped. So Marquez slipped during that.
And then that right, and then an overhand right to Potolo. Opened up with the left, striking combination. There's that back elbow we talked about before, Harry.
That busted him wide open, and then here we see the guillotine choke. But Potolo tried to take the legs out from underneath. And then, let's see it.
This right here, this choke attempt, this RNC attempt, should have been the end of the fight here for Marquez.
And Marquez was able to position his shoulder properly and roll out of it. And you can see he just started teeing off on Potolo. You know, those punches were not quick, but they were powerful.
That's the thing.
Hugely powerful.
And that 30-10 significant strike differential, that plus 20 differential in the third round, that's what turned the tide. Like halfway through the second round.
And it was a gator roll that he took into a choke here. And then where does he tap? Because
he gets him right in here in this fetal position, cinches it in, and that's it right there.
Wow, because it wasn't a full rear naked choke. It wasn't a full guillotine. He has his shoulder in the way, so I wonder what he would have tapped for, but it doesn't matter. As Bruce Buffer, will announce. We'll give the official announcement here. The official decision. And the referee here looking like Shep from the Three Stooges. Bruce Buffer. The stop to this contest at 4 minutes, 17 seconds in round number 3 by the winner by submission with the Anaconda choke, Julian, the Cuban Missile Marquez, who now goes to 8-2 here. Tremendous victory. What a great fight.
And a lot of people saying that this was Potolo's last fight. After a performance like that, you cannot cut Maycee Potolo.
It was a great performance on his part. I think he was winning that fight for the most of the fight.
Yeah, you can't take it. I think these both both get a fight of the night bonus. There's no way that Dana White, if he doesn't give these guys the fight of the night bonus, I don't know what we're doing here.
I mean,
this coming in from Ant Dude 24/7. Matt and Harry will be the new DLC announcers in UFC 5.
Oh well, listen, if you can hook that up, do you know somebody? Because we're looking to move up.
Hey, EA Sports, we like money.
Yeah. I mean, hell, we'll do it on Atari. It doesn't matter. If you got a ColecoVision contract, we'll sign it. Neo Geo, whatever format you want us to do it on, we'll do it here. And no post. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess they're doing the post-fight interviews.
Yeah, because it's in the Performance Center, so they're gonna do it.
That's very and a fist bump with Dana White
in front of his plexiglass gimmick.
And look at the highlights again. Look, that spinning back elbow. God.
These guys we didn't expect the fight to start out that quickly and then just bam, right into the play.
I mean, there was just a lot from each of these guys. Potolo had a lot of control and almost had a couple rear naked chokeholds, but every once in a while, Marquez would find a way to grab him and put him in a guillotine and beating him with the anaconda here, squeezing that neck. And Joe Rogan interviewing Julian Marquez. Rogan saying, Julian, what a fight, what a slobber knocker. Marquez says, slobber knocker, let's go with it, I like that. Rogan saying, an amazing victory for you. At the beginning of the fight, were you surprised by Maki's grappling heavy attack? Marquez says, honestly, no, I wasn't. I knew he was going to bring it. He's a good Hawaiian fighter. They got thick bones. That's exactly what I expected. I just wasn't feeling something. I felt a little flat. Could be ring rust. Still came back and got the win. Joe, let me stop you here. Dana talked to me before this all happened. I got something to announce for you fans out there. Listen here. As you know, I'm from Kansas City, Arrowhead Stadium. We are the loudest stadium in the world. We want to know which arena is the loudest. Starting on Twitter right now. Hashtag your city. Hashtag your state. Hashtag UFC get loud. Which country, which city, which state is the loudest fans?
You a fucking morning DJ?
I guess. It's very odd.
That's right. Use the hashtag UFC loudest city and let us know. You know what? If everybody right now, hey, I want you to get on Twitter.
Yeah.
I want you to put, for the hashtag, UFC's loudest city. What city should it be?
Albuquerque. Let's just pick one.
No, because that's hard to spell.
Oh, okay.
Teaneck.
Teaneck, New Jersey.
Hashtag UFC loudest city and hashtag Teaneck. Include myself and Harry in the tweets. Like, at MRyan Consulting, at Harry Terjanian. And if you guys, you know what, throughout the night, I'll be checking my Twitter. The best tweet that includes that combination, I don't know, we'll figure something out. We'll shout you out.
We'll shout you out and maybe something else.
Yeah, send you a signed something. I don't know. Send you a signed photo of my dog Olive.
Okay, and Marquez saying James Cross was one of the few people who believed in me. Everyone said this guy was done. I came here to get a victory. Can I make a call out? I've been waiting 31 months to get on this damn mic to call these people up. This is my time to shine. Miley Cyrus.
What?
Will you be my Valentine?
Isn't she dating like Cody Simpson or something like that?
I mean, listen, maybe there's room for Julian Marquez.
Yeah, Steph, if we can get like a pop culture readout on what Miley Cyrus is currently doing.
I love that that's what we have Steph fact check. No fight stats. We don't ask her to look up. Can you get on that right now? Let us know what Miley Cyrus's dating relationship is.
She would probably
and also update us on both Evans brothers, please. Thank you.
Chris and Jermaine.
Chris and Jermaine. Tito is my favorite. Harpo and then Keenan
If
Ivory.
you bet on Maycee Potolo losing to Marquez by submission in the third round, if you would have bet $100, you would have won $3,300.
Also, you're a fucking degenerate. But go home and see your kids. What a fight! What an incredible fight!
And yes, according to Steph, Miley Cyrus is currently dating Cody Simpson.
Oh wow! Okay. Well, I mean, looks like he's good. I mean, let's see what Cody Simpson does in an octagon. I guess Julian Marquez is making a call for his lady. You know what that means, bro. You got to get out there and defend
Cody
your
Simpson
woman's honor.
Marquez in the UFC next fall.
In the octagon. Wow, what a great fight. I'm going to, take a break here while we have a chance in the action.
need
a cigarette after that. God damn, that was a great fight. And again, the UFC curse being what it is, shitty card, great fights. That was a hell of a fight, and they all have a lot to live up to for the rest of the night.
Shout out to Scott Johansson in New Mexico. We've got a lot of people in the chat. Dr. Duke saying thanks for the feed, guys. Thank you, Dr. Duke, for joining us here tonight. Marv Who, meet Matty Ryan. Marv Albert is actually one of my heroes, outside of the whole thing that he did with the woman in the hotel room.
That's why I love him. That's why I'm a fan.
And a shout out to Toker88 and the Real Prairie Potter for joining us. Toker88, you're here with us every month. Good to see you again, my friend. Glad you guys are all joining us across the Combat Culture Network, whether you're watching us on Combat Culture, MMA Mania, Bloody Elbow on YouTube, the MMA or Bloody Elbow, MMA Mania or Bloody Elbow Facebook page, the MMA Mania Periscope. Shout out to you guys, and shout out to the people watching us on Twitch. We're so grateful you are joining us here and making us your way to experience UFC 258. We're here with you every single month for every single UFC pay-per-view. I might actually be hosting more stuff for Combat Culture. If you want me to host more stuff, if you want me to do more live shows like I did for UFC 257, let me know. Follow me on Twitter at MRyan Consulting. Be sure to tag at MMA Mania, at Bloody Elbow. And throughout the night, we want you guys to tweet that the loudest city, hashtag UFC loudest city, is in fact Teaneck, New Jersey. So hashtag UFC loudest city, tag myself, tag Harry Terjanian. Be sure to follow us on Twitter. And a shout out to our moderator, Stephanie Sotilli. She is watching a romantic comedy, one romantic comedy per day, one romance movie, every day in the month of February. You can follow her on Twitter at Steph Sotilli, and you can follow her on TikTok at God's Unwanted Daughter. Shout out to Joshua Meyer on YouTube. Your commentary is great, Matt Ryan. Thank you. Q from Impractical Jokers and the guy from Lost are a hell of a team. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Impractical Joke?
Q. You look like Q.
Oh, jeez. Those are good guys. Those are good guys. Long Island's answer to the Beatles. The Impractical
Staten Island.
They're from Staten Island?
Yeah, they're from Staten Island.
Same shit.
Is it, though?
Long Island's better, but Long Island's better.
Shout out to Baka Boy 358.
Baka Boy.
With the hashtag loudest city, hashtag IDFK.
IDFK.
That's AntDude247 on YouTube.
Hey, why don't you hashtag us the drunkest city is what I would like to know.
I feel like that would probably be Hoboken, New Jersey.
I get pretty wild. I don't know. Remember we were in Nashville.
Oh, God.
That was just some disaster.
Broadway on a Saturday night.
We had to cut our shoot short.
Yeah.
Because just having a camera out there was a fucking problem.
Ugh, so many. I've never seen so many bridal showers in my life. So many bridal showers.
And so many ugly brides. Let's be very specific about this. It was not great out there. I mean, Nashville does have some very attractive women. Now they become Charles Barkley all of a sudden. They got some ugly women down in Nashville. Let me tell you right now. The toothbrush do not work in Nashville. I love Charles Barkley. Shout out to one of the best sports broadcasters in the world.
Shout out to Lawrence Graham watching the fight, letting you guys commentate. You guys are awesome. Hashtag NJ all day.
Well, thank you very much.
James Clark watching Harry trying to talk while Matt slays. It is funny.
What Matt's? I mean, yeah, I gotta fit in. I'm just there to give Matt some oxygen so he doesn't die. Let's be honest.
Our next card on March 6th: Jan Blachowicz versus Israel Adesanya, Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson, Peter Yan versus Aljamain Sterling, Islam Makhachev versus Drew Dober, Thiago Santos versus Alexander Raychik. That is a motherfucker of a card, Harry.
It's a great card.
We're gonna bring it to you live across Combat Culture on March 6th at 9:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll have more of that, and I was talking about it earlier, but I might be doing more stuff here on Combat Culture, more live shows, like post prelim shows and stuff. So if you guys want more content like that, let us know in the comments section. Let us know on social media. As I said before, follow us, follow Steph Sotilli on Twitter. That card for UFC 259 is
looking
stacked.
Great if it stays intact. Again, card subject to change, but Saturday, March 6th, it's gonna be looking like a great fight, a great card. Champion versus champion? What is
Adesanya moving up to 205 to fight Jan Blachowicz.
I'm forgetting, My goodness.
Dave from New Jersey says you look like the Giant.
I look like the Giant?
The Giant from WCW.
Oh, the Big Show? I guess so. Yeah, this long hair. I don't know if this is going to stay, but I'm not going to ask you fucking people because I'm not going to open myself up to that abuse.
You're going to end up looking like Gigi Allen.
I don't know, man. This is, and then they're doing, the prelims. Dominic Cruz in the prelims? My.
Yeah, that is weird. Against Casey Kenny. That's it. Song Yadong in action. Kyler Phillips with the prettiest hair I've seen. Joe Benavidez on the prelim card.
That's a heavy. I don't know why. Just scheduling wise, sometimes it be that way. Sometimes it bees that way sometimes, and that's a stacked card. Some of those prelims I predict will be moving into the main card. But thus far, UFC 258 has been great. Yeah. First fight in.
We are one fight in, and I feel like I that was a lot.
That was a lot. That was a lot back and forth. Oh. It was, what is this, a highlight package of Bruce Buffer here?
Yeah.
Let me see what they're doing here. Is he going in the Hall of Fame?
Is this propaganda?
What's
Is this propaganda? Well,
every
Harry
time
listens to that.
Every time, oh my God. Bruce Buffer. Young Bruce Buffer with the 90s tuxedo. Remember that phase of tuxedos where it was just a collar and a button?
Where you look like you were Belle Biv or DeVoe?
Yeah. Or a Chinese diplomat in the Rush Hour films. Let's see, Bruce Buffer. They're doing a highlight video for Bruce Buffer, which he deserves all the accolades. Yeah. It's just a very odd time placement because that fight went pretty much the distance.
We got time to fill.
But we don't, though. That fight went the third round. It was 15
Harry,
seconds.
Harry, it's a UFC pay-per-view. All they have is time to fill.
I guess, but why not hold this in case the next fight ends early? But what are they talking? I'm trying to...
I just Bruce Buffer yelling. It's just a compilation of Bruce Buffer
well,
yelling.
The thing about Bruce Buffer when he does those introductions in slow motion, it looks like he's doing Tai Chi.
He's doing Falun Gong.
Or Capoeira.
He's going into the UFC Hall of Fame.
Is that what they're doing?
I think so.
Oh, it's celebrating 25 years tonight inside that octagon. Unbelievable. Looking fantastic and deserving all the accolades. One of the best ring announcers in all of sports. Mm-hmm. Great Bruce Buffer.
Bruce Buffer, probably the best.
2 in one family, and neither of my brothers have done shit.
I am the result of a third date from Halloween 1988.
Wait, you were
That's
conceived
my origin
on
story.
Halloween?
I was conceived on Halloween 1988.
Wow. What were your parents wearing? Ghostbusters? What were they dressed as? Did you ever ask them what they were wearing?
Well, I can only ask one of them.
Oh, that's true.
They're both dead now.
Yeah,
but...
it's too late now. You missed the opportunity. Kids, if your parents are still alive, call them and ask them what they were wearing when they fucked and conceived you.
I don't know what the number one hit song was.
But in 1988?
On October 31st, 1988.
I guess I can do that. We're not in a fight. I'm not going to make Steph look that up. But what October number one song? I think there's a website or something.
Yeah, I would feel like it would be a billboard. I hope the Monster Mash was playing. I hope my parents were listening to Cousin Brucey.
Number one song of your birthday.
October 31st, 1988 would be the day I was conceived.
You conceived. Okay, yes. October 31st. Let's see here, 1988. Let's find out. You can read some of the chats while I find out.
Yeah, Chris Isaac, Jesse goes to say,
it's
Kokomo by the Beach Boys!
Kokomo by the Beach Boys.
Yeah!
The only number one single for the Beach Boys written without Brian Wilson in the band. So we know what your parents were trying to...
so
your mom and dad were trying to get there fast and then take it slow.
Steph just sent in some of the other top number one hits of October 1988, just in case it wasn't Halloween.
AKA the week that your parents fucked and conceived you.
The period of time my parents made me. October 1st, Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin. Love Bites by Def Leppard. Red Red Wine by UB40. And October 22nd, A Groovy Kind of Love by Phil Collins.
Oh my goodness. All of these. Any one of these could strike up a 1988
romance. A Groovy Kind of Love was the number one hit on October 29th, 1988.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't Kokomo.
Well, Kokomo was on October 31st.
Well, this is under the Billboard chart.
Under 29 October, whatever. Well, it's either one of those songs. Yeah. Either way, you can't go wrong. Kokomo by the
Brian
Beach Boys.
Kelleher making his way to the cage, Harry.
Yeah, there we go. Let's actually get back to the fights as we were killing
his last
some time.
fight was a submission win against Ray Rodriguez back in September. He's 3-3 in his last 6 fights, including a 2-fight winning streak and a 2-fight losing streak. 4 years in the UFC. He fought 4 times in 2020. Some of these fast stats: the second fastest submission in UFC featherweight history in 39 seconds. He's tied for second on that one. Second shortest average fight time in bantamweight history at 37 seconds. Well, that number was wrong, but it was 37 seconds. 8 knockouts, 10 submissions, 4 wins by decision. He's been knocked out once, tapped out 6 times, and went to the scorecards and lost 4 times. So he's 500 at the scorecards. That's an interesting little stat. The deeper this fight goes, it is essentially a toss-up for Kelleher when it goes to the scorecards.
Yeah, but I mean, again, as you mentioned, I think he fought 4 times in 2020. It's been a busy boy, Brian Kelleher. But 22-11. So we'll see what Ricky Simon has to bring to the table here.
Mick_76 asking, will you guys cover the Edward Shimiev fight, which is now the Edwards Covington fight? We only do pay-per-views. If you guys want us to do more, you need to let the guys at MMA Mania and Bloody Elbow know. Let our overlords know, our corporate bosses over at Fox know that you want us to do more.
Is that a security guard wearing a choker? It's very odd. I don't normally
you kink shame.
I'm not. Yeah, I normally don't try to talk about the appearance of women based on that, but it's just very odd because I think
chokers are in again, I believe.
I know, but it's just a very odd choice if you're working security at a venue. I don't have a problem with the choker. It's just
it's a sartorial choice.
I guess that's how they roll out in Vegas.
Yeah.
And Ricky Simon choosing to go with an extreme mullet, a very Eddie Guerrero style mullet.
Looking like he's a member of Los Brazos. Back-to-back wins, second for most takedowns in UFC bantamweight history with 33, tied for 4th in most wins since 2008 in UFC bantamweight history with 5. Those 2 wins are against Ray Borg and Gantanello Perello. Prior to that, he was a decision against Rob Font, and he got TKO'd by Uriah Faber. Those were his only 2 losses in his UFC run. He's 5-2 in the UFC. Fought just over 2 weeks ago in that win against Perello. He's knocked out 5, submitted 3, 9 wins by decision. And then, he's had 1 loss by knockout, 1 loss by submission, 1 loss by decision.
And Ricky Simon looking like a guy who wants to go by Ricky Simon. Instead, shout out to my Latino friends and
Is he
family.
baby Joker, little Joker, or big Joker?
Oh, Jesus. I go baby Joker. Here's the tail of the tape, Matt, if you want to.
Ricky Simon's 28, Kelleher 34. When it comes to reach, Simon has the 3-inch reach advantage, 69-66. Both men walking into the octagon at 145.5 pounds. Both of them at 5'6". That reach advantage will come into play heavy here because we are in the baby cage. So he's going to try to keep Kelleher from getting into the pocket, getting in close, and trying to light him up.
There we go. Bruce Buffer doing the introductions. And Brian Kelleher with the Jesus crucifix tattoo on his chest all the way across, and electing not, like Truth Martini, the wrestling manager, to have the hands go over the nipples where the nails would go.
No.
In a classless move. A much better tattoo from Brian Kelleher, rubbing his head here.
Looking like that head shave, the thing that Cesaro used to market, that head shaver.
Oh, did he really sell that thing?
Well, he was I think he got a sponsorship.
Like an Instagram poster?
Yeah. Kevin Foley, I remember Matt Ryan's call from last time. Yeah, call the fight man. Scott Johansson saying Matt should be a real UFC commentator.
Well,
someone compared me to the big cowboy. Matt's a commentator with the big cowboy hat. I think I'm
Bill Watts?
Or Jim Ross?
Oh, Jim Ross? Maybe Jim Ross.
Ricky Simon with the thinnest mustache. That is a DeBarge level mustache.
And Keith Peterson, and he has his polo button to the very, very top. What is he hiding?
Tattoos,
is what I want to know.
I believe
there are a lot of neck tattoos, but I mean, this is the UFC. It's got to be pretty rough. You've seen some bad ones here. I mean,
well, he's an official. And here we go with round number 1. Both men meeting in the center of the octagon. Kelleher throwing 2 lefts, missing. Low kick with the right leg. Simon throwing a left, not landing. Both of these guys coming out throwing some leather early on, over 10 seconds gone by in round number 1. Now a takedown attempt. Simon gets the takedown, but now Kelleher trying to interlock the legs, now trying to go for an armbar, and Simon with some hammer fists on the Kelleher. Kelleher trying to snatch the submission early here, trying to end this fight. basically cradling, baby Bjorning Simon, who now takes the back of Kelleher, trying to sneak the submission. This one going as fast and furious as the first fight, Harry. And Kelleher is busted open right in the middle of his eyebrow, right in between both. It looks like he has a bloody unibrow, and now trying to pull the guillotine from the bottom.
And that's a rough situation because that blood is leaking right into his eye, so he's squinting, has one eye at this point he's working with.
Back up. Now trying to stand back up is Kelleher. Over 4 minutes remaining in round number 1. Simon with the back of Kelleher. In the Luther Campbell position is Kelleher. Knee to the face by Simon. Knee to the thigh now, trying to chop the tree down with those knees to the thigh, the left thigh of Kelleher. And then almost pulls the takedown. Kelleher holding on to the fence. Doesn't really do a lot. Now he's on both knees.
Referee Keith Peterson telling him to get his fingers out of that cage. Hammer fist by Simon.
In a variation of side control, but both men back up. And now Kelleher gets the throat. Tried to pull for the guillotine, but ends up on his back with Simon back on top. Now Kelleher trying to scramble and find a way out of it. Has to utilize his skills on the bottom here, interlocking his legs around the right leg of Simon. Now trying to pull for the guillotine, and now Simon gets his arm under the bicep, right underneath the throat of Kelleher. Kelleher in trouble. This one could end quickly here. 3:06 left to go, and now Kelleher reaching for the fence like it's the rope in a wrestling match. Nothing new in there. 3 minutes left to go. The pace has slowed down, Harry.
But a bad position for Kelleher as Simon trying to squeeze in either a guillotine choke, anaconda.
Or he's just trying to drive his shoulder and his bicep into the throat of Kelleher. Nothing doing there, though. Kelleher finds a way out of it, trying to take the arm and go for an arm bar. But now
or
both...
Kimura, something. He was trying to sneak something, but
Simon... it was a Kimura, now trying to lift his leg over the head of Simon. Nothing doing there. Now both men on their sides. Kelleher interlocking his legs around Simon. And now north-south position or variation of such. And a waist lock. And now going for the back again is Simon. Kelleher finding a way out of it. Trying to scramble to the top. Gets into a guillotine and gets Simon. But Simon will find a way out of it. Both men standing and back in the center of the octagon.
Both fighters getting in a stance here. Going to exchange some strikes maybe. Front kick by Simon.
And a front kick by Kelleher.
Yeah. Bobbing and weaving here. Let's see what's going to happen. It's slowed down tremendously here.
Missing with the right and a left is Simon on the 155 left to go in round number 1.
A leg kick by Kelleher.
And you can see that laceration. It looks like there's a second laceration above it and another takedown by Simon. Kelleher a little bloody here. He's got that gash in the middle of his eyebrow and then a one above what seems to be his left eyebrow. But now Simon on top and Kelleher trying to go for the arm again and now once again pulling for that submission. Cannot lock it in. Tried for a Kimura, tried for a guillotine. Cannot pull either.
And a situation again, Simon taking control here. Kelleher trying to just keep his arm there so that there's no guillotine. But he is gasping for air, and there's a minute and 15 seconds left here as Simon is in control and nowhere near the... He's in the center of the cage.
Both of these guys have tried to finish the fight. Both have tried to go for fight-ending submissions. It's the striking that really changed the pace early on, and it's why Kelleher is bloody. And grapevining the legs was Kelleher of Simon from bottom position. Gets right back up, but his back is immediately to the fence. Simon trying to keep the pressure. That's what the baby cage is all about. That smaller cage, keeping the pressure. And knee attempt by Kelleher, checked by Simon. 45 seconds left to go in the round.
Fighters in the center of the cage. Simon controlling, goes for a takedown, but Kelleher stands up, keeps it going.
Circling, that left hand from hell by Kelleher missed, but trying to go for those leg kicks, trying to tee up on Simon. Simon ducking and evading. A great first round so far by Ricky Simon. Almost got caught a few times, but has been controlling the pace of this fight. Spinning back elbow attempt missed by Kelleher. Simon dipped that and slipped that. 15 seconds now left to go. Leg kick missed by Simon. Left jab and then a leg kick by Simon.
7 seconds, both fighters in the cage.
Ooh. Simon is a minus 1,400 right now, according to Jesse Goss in the chat. And we will end round number 1, Harry. That is a 10-9, maybe a 10-8. Kelleher could not get off the blocks there. Had a few opportunities to pull a choke, pull a submission, but Simon would find a way out of it, trying to find different things to kind of isolate.
Look at that gash. Cut, and that's going down the long ways on the side of the nose.
So it was just one cut right at the lip of the right eyebrow of Kelleher.
Trying to stop the bleeding. desperately. Let's see here. Kelleher's corner. Can't hear anything due to the COVID mask, unfortunately. But that gash is rough.
Yeah, that is awful.
That might be a situation as this fight continues. We see the highlights.
And we see Kelleher blocking those lefts, but threw that overhand right, got caught into the takedown. Great awareness there by Simon to know that punch was coming. And there we see the setup to how he got busted open. He got piñataed on the ground there by Ricky Simon.
That's the one. The hammer
Kelleher
fist landed. The hammer fist landed and busted him open long ways here. And a different angle or a different, it might be a different highlight. But again, Simon quick to do the takedown. Round 2.
Both standing in the center of the octagon. Right hand thrown by Kelleher, not landing. Simon trying to piece up Kelleher. Missing with that left, missing with a right forearm strike did Simon. Left hand landed by Simon straight to the face. Another quick left jab by Simon. Quick the snap and power in the punches of Simon. Front kick by Kelleher to Simon.
And it landed. He got all of that.
Yeah, he got all of that. Sent Simon on his bicycle for half a second.
He got the shoe size and everything off that.
Another leg kick by Simon to Kelleher. Head kick missed by Kelleher. Quick left landed by Simon. Tried to feign a takedown attempt and tried to throw a couple of wild strikes to Kelleher. Nothing doing there. 4:10 left to go in round number 1.
Both fighters in the center here. Simon trying to throw a couple quick jabs here. Ooh, Kelleher landed something quick. And let's see, back and forth. They're both trying to land something big here.
It feels like Simon's just trying to either shoot for a takedown or throw a big strike. It feels like he knows he has to keep that pressure on, but there's not that drive, that push, and Kelleher just playing keep away at this point. And then a head kick, Simon utilizing his reach there to keep Kelleher away, but he's not pressuring like he did in the first round. Now he tries for Kelleher, missing hard with an overhand right. And a flush kick, but caught! And Simon with the takedown! Grabs the leg, now gets caught! Grapevining the leg was Simon! Kelleher. Simon back up. Kelleher back up, and that cut has been reopened on the face of Kelleher.
Yeah, he used the hammer fist to get out of that maneuver here. Both fighters to the center of the cage. Kelleher.
And pardon me, it's not pronounced like Paul Simon. It's pronounced like Simone.
Simone. Yeah, that's what I figured there.
I'm sorry, I'm Irish.
That's okay.
I don't know better.
You were hoping, I guess. Spinning back fist from Simone.
But Simone gets a right hand to the temple, almost hit the reset button on Kelleher.
Let's see here. It's just been a back and forth second round here a little bit. Kelleher trying maybe to feign that front kick again.
And thank you to Liam Sanchez Goes to Vegas on YouTube for letting us know about that right hand landed by Simone, and then another overhand left, standing in the center of the octagon, 235 left to go, left hand landed by Kelleher.
A low kick from Kelleher, followed up by a left hook.
Quick left right into a low kick by Simone.
Simmons. We're gonna change. Yes. We're gonna by the end of this fight.
we're gonna Ellis Island his name. 2 right hands landed by Kelleher. Simone feigning a left right and then a left uppercut right strike, and another takedown attempt by Simone. Gets it, but almost guillotined. Kelleher almost grabbed that, but Simone pulling his head out, and now trying to gain top position is Simone.
And he has Kelleher pressed against the cage, grapevining the leg here, and Kelleher Simone driving the shoulder into Kelleher's face, not letting him breathe.
Just trying to dictate the pace now. Simone trying to keep Kelleher grounded, keep him on the floor. Quick left hand, just quick repetitive left strikes by Simone with 135 left to go.
And there's another cut on Kelleher. Now the side of his head is busted open, as you can see there. I don't know if it's from a headbutt or a hammer fist.
And then a knee to the thigh of Kelleher by Simone. Just left knee to the left thigh of Kelleher by Simone. Both men standing, and now Kelleher trying to find a way out of it with his back to the fence with 1:12 left to go in round number 2.
Kelleher will be leaving with some battle scars, win or lose here, as Simone continues to press him against the cage.
Not as bad as Page Man's aunt last week at Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship.
Boy, oh boy.
Pieced up. Under a minute left to go in round number 2.
Some knees there from Kelleher, but followed up by a bunch of uppercuts to the stomach from Simone. And then Muay Thai clinch from Kelleher.
Yeah, trying to get... Oh, and Simone tried to get a big spinning elbow. Did not land it. And both men trying to find some pace here. Uppercut by Simone with a right hand. With 37 seconds left to go and throwing bombs as Kelleher. Not landing, not connecting. And Simone trying to dictate the pace here. Keep this going. This fight started out in a flash. The pace has been kind of the same throughout. It's a little slower now. Been an ebb and flow all fight long.
A wild swing there. Simone lands something here, 15 seconds. A front kick from Kelleher that barely grazes him. A little bit of bobbing and weaving here. Both fighters in the center.
10 seconds left to go in the round. Simone controlling the center of the octagon. Feigning a few lefts, not landing anything on Kelleher. Tried to go for a flying knee, did Simone. Not landing, and we will go to round number 3 with a kick to the dick.
Close. Was it? Did it count?
It didn't count.
Keith Peterson says it's fine.
You hear what's going on in the corners? I will be right back.
Okay, let's take a listen here. In Kelleher's corners, they try to stop that bleeding. That was a much better round, Brian. Much better round. You got to go for it now. You got him hurting. How's your calf feel, they ask him. I'm fine. Keep throwing that, too. The feints are really working, they tell him. And let's go upstairs a little bit now, they tell him. Let's get the combinations together. Let's empty it out. Let's get this, says Kelleher's corners. We see the highlights here. You see a kick, very close, a low kick, but it didn't. I don't think he meant to do that for sure, because he was apologizing to Simone, but I think it didn't go below the belt, but it was to the lower abdomen there. So we'll see here as we gear up for round number 3. Referee Keith Peterson's polo shirt is still buttoned up to the very, very top.
With the black gloves, the man just looks like he's just under a shroud of mystery. We begin round number 3. Brought to you by Clinical Depression. Simon evading a left hook by Kelleher. Simone, throwing a left, not landing, leg kick by Simone. 4:45 left to go in the round.
Oh, a head kick by Simone that lands. A head kick by Kelleher misses.
Both of these guys are going to throw everything in their bag of tricks, and Simone pressing forward, just throwing hands, doing the Lisa Simpson whirling dervish. Kelleher feigning an uppercut, did not throw it. Trying to find the opportunity. Kelleher with that right hook. That right hook looks like it could kill you, but he's not been able to land it so far in this round. And a back and an elbow by Simone. It looked like a forearm shiver with the elbow, trying to jab it in there. He
landed 2 or 3 elbows. I've never seen that.
Simone getting the back of Kelleher, now taking the side, trying to go for a takedown. Kelleher stepping his leg inside in between Simone's legs. 3:56 left to go in round number 3.
And again, Simone just hasn't pinned against the cage here. Kelleher trying to hold on. Squeezing out, turns around, got his back against the cage now. Face to face, both fighters.
And now in the senior prom dance position is Kelleher pressing Simone's back to the fence.
And Simone, they're trying to make sure he doesn't let Kelleher press him up against the cage, using his arms to get very low here, but he spins back and pushes Kelleher against the cage.
And this has kind of been the story of the fight, Harry. Anytime Kelleher gets an opening, Simone will find a way to dictate the pace and regain control. Simone grinding Kelleher against the fence, trying to go for another takedown. Kelleher fighting back. It's been a 10-9 fight all the way. You can't go, I don't think you can go below 10-9 in each round, but so far going just to Simone, who's pressing Kelleher, trying to shoot the takedown again is Simone, and he gets it after a bit of a struggle from Kelleher, who tried to pull him in for a guillotine. Did not get it going, and Kelleher eating 3 straight right hands from Simone. Now under 3 minutes left to go, 2:46 left to go in round number 3 of 3.
And Kelleher maybe trying to go for a Kimura lock, but Simon just squeezing him down. Kelleher's leaning on his stomach here. A weird side position by Simone, who's trying to now get his arms free. Kelleher just holding on to the arms to maybe stop the onslaught here. And in a very bizarre pretzel position. The legs grapevined, and he's pushing Kelleher against the cage here, but Kelleher looks out of it as far as breath goes, exhausted, just trying to survive this with 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in this third and final round.
And you could, those Simone just trying to looks like he's small packaging and now just trying to squish the head of Kelleher with his right hip. Trying to pull for the Kimura is Simone with under 2 minutes now left to go in the round. Almost has it in, and he's got the Kimura. Kelleher trying to fight out of it. Rotates onto his back, but Simone almost cinched it in, but Kelleher scrambles, and now...
North-south position there.
Simone keeping him in control, maybe trying to go for a neck crank, but Kelleher gets right back up. Great defense there by Kelleher, who's been behind the 8 ball this entire fight, and now trying to do what we saw with Marquez do in our last fight, pull for the guillotine and get the upset victory.
Simone still pressing him against the cage here. Kelleher tries to squeeze out of it, but gives up his back here, so now Simone has him in a rear waist lock.
Yeah, he's got him in a reverse waist lock. And now trying to go underneath the armpits and try to secure the takedown, and then kneeing into the base of the spine is Simone. Kelleher trying to block it with his hands.
That's how painful that is. Wow.
Trying to break the coccyx of Kelleher. And now...
Kelleher tries to push out of it, but Simone will not let it go of the hold.
Under a minute left to go. Now switching positions now in a variation of a single underhook clinch by Simone. Kelleher trying to deny the double underhook, knee to the knee of Kelleher by Simone. And Simone trying to just keep the status quo here, try to maintain this pressure and end this fight with the victory, get the decision here. And Kelleher eating a spinning back elbow, but throwing her right into the face of Simone. 20 seconds left to go. The only chance Kelleher has is to finish this fight, and he just tried to do a spinning back fist, trying to make it look pretty. Head kick followed by a right hand from Kelleher. 10 seconds now, and it feels like there's no urgency from Kelleher. It looks like he's just trying to find an opening instead of just trying to unload, and we will go to the scorecards in Las Vegas. And this one, I believe, is 10-9 all around for Simone.
Yeah, I would agree. A good effort by Kelleher, but just was not enough. I mean, he had to kind of knock him out. It was the only way he was winning that. I mean,
or pull the submission.
That's true. Yeah. But Simone and Kelleher,
even if
good
the
sign
judges,
of sportsmanship here.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
It was a good fight. Very solid fight.
But if you're the judges right there, you take a look at how Kelleher was behind the 8 ball this entire fight. You could probably... the judge could try to give the second round to either fighter, but Simone was so clutch in each portion of all 3 rounds.
I mean, yeah, at any given point. He was just phenomenal with the takedowns, phenomenal with maintaining control. Ooh, a front kick. You see the highlight. I mean, Kelleher landed some big shots, but it just was not enough
and Kelleher
throughout the fight.
And he was in the fight the entire time.
No doubt.
That's the problem with it, is that Kelleher, if he was able to turn the tide and try to lock in one of these submissions, we could have seen a similar situation to Marquez. But there's that biggest inhibitor, Harry, that cut right on the eyebrow. I think once he got busted open, that changed the entire pace of the fight.
You got blood leaking into the face, causing him to squint a lot of the time. It's very difficult, but you got to give credit to Simone with the wrestling and the ability to keep him down. Let's see the official scorecard, ladies and gentlemen. After three rounds, all 3 judges score the fight 30-27. Winner by unanimous decision, Ricky Simone.
So Ricky Simone, don't lose that number, just improve it. He will go to 18-3 on his career. Brian Kelleher will go to 22-12 as a pro. That is now 3-4 in his last 7 is Kelleher, and now Simone is 6-2.
A very impressive performance as he and his trainers take a selfie in the cage. Very happy. I think I agree with that decision.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a great fight there. What are we doing here? And let's see here as we prepare. That was a good fight.
That was a good fight. Yeah, that was a solid fight.
We see some of the highlights here as we await the interview. Yeah, look at those elbows from Simone. And then Kelleher got a lot of good shots in. It just wasn't enough for Kelleher, unfortunately.
And that was, that's the problem when you go into a fight with someone like Simone, who he's now 10-1 in decisions. So when it comes to fighting the full 15, it's hard to beat Ricky Simón.
I mean, it was just an onslaught repeatedly, over and over again. Here is Joe Rogan prepares to interview Ricky Simón. Let's see here. Sorry. Make sure here. Ricky Simón saying it was a tough camp just a couple weeks ago. Had a long flight back home. Right after that fight, I ran 5 miles, stayed at my manager's house for a couple of days, and we had, how to fight twice in less than a month is damn tough. Rogan saying, I know you're hard on yourself, but you look fantastic. You had a tremendous performance. How good did it feel to not have to cut that much weight? That was great, says Ricky. I'm a fat boy at heart, shout out to all the fat boys.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang. Ham, everybody. Shout it out. And, Rogan's having a good laugh at that here. What happened here? I think we lost I don't know. We have lost the audio on my part there. Ricky Simón celebrating here with the fight. Replenishing after 145 is definitely nice, says Simón. Let's see, Rogan. Did it make any significant difference in the octagon? It's hard to tell. It's been a long month. I'm tired. Well, I don't blame him. 2 fights in a month. I understand. Don't waste any time. Go celebrate, says Joe Rogan. Go enjoy. You earned it. Beautiful victory. Back-to-back. Congratulations, Ricky Simón. And I've been traveling a lot over the last year, says Ricky Simón. I'm going to spend some time with my family. Thank you. So he's doing the reverse COVID-19 situation. He is going to choose now to take time off and be with his family. But congratulations, Ricky Simón. Great fight.
Whisper in the chat saying on Periscope, wow, UFC commentary from Jerry Garcia? I take that as a compliment. I am, in fact, a deadhead.
I mean, is he saying now? Jerry Garcia now? Because that's pretty rough.
That would be rough. Because he's been dead for 26 years.
Since 1994, I do believe.
Yeah.
I don't know why I know that. I'm not a fan of the Grateful Dead.
I know that because my uncle who was a deadhead, and I remember him trying to buy a Jerry Garcia tie soon after he died at Macy's. Why I have that in my memory bank, I have no goddamn idea.
Okay, here we go. They're promoting next Saturday night's fights. The main event featuring Blades and Derek Lewis. That's an interesting fight. That's going to be
a great fight. And then we got Caitlin Vieira against Yana Kunitskaya. Charles Rosa versus Derek Minner. Alexei Olenek versus Chris Daukaus. Phil Hawes and Nasruddin Imamov. And Andrei Arlovsky against Tom Aspinall. Andrei Arlovsky making his obligatory one main card fight per year return and opening that card on the 20th.
Modeling for characters in Street Fighter, Andrei Arlovsky. That is a good card. A good card. We will not be covering that, but you're welcome to watch that live on ESPN Plus, February 20th, next Saturday.
Gabriel Killian saying Cousin Harry on Periscope. Do you have a cousin named Gabriel?
Gabriel Killian? Oh, I think I might know Gabriel.
Is that your
yeah. He's a comedian. I know Gabriel. And the owner of, I want to know the chicken restaurant that he runs. Shout out your chicken restaurant, Gabriel.
Type that in the chat. We would like free chicken. I will eat your chicken on the air. Oh, I had some of that Stipe Miocic coffee.
Red Hot Chicken, I think it is.
Yeah.
How was it? They sent that last time, didn't they?
Thanks to our producer, Rodrigo.
Wait, what the fuck is this?
Kamaru Usman walking into the
building. I thought they were going to the fights.
No, they're going to fight in the suits.
They're looking great. Both of the guys looking phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman making their way into the venue inside the UFC Apex. But I tried some of that coffee. It is strong.
Yeah?
I have been drinking that coffee every day, and good Lord, is it powerful. So shout out to...
So was it like a pre-workout coffee?
No, it's just got 3 times the caffeine of normal coffee.
Why didn't other people do that? I didn't know. Did he just figure out you could do that?
I guess so. It's just, I don't think everybody wants to feel like they're having a heart attack every time they have a cup of coffee. So,
well, let's see here. All right, as we do highlight packages again throughout the night. Well, let's do some plugs while we're killing a little bit of time. You can see all my stuff at Harry Terjanian on social media, but also subscribe to the podcast I do, Man School 202. With Dante Nero, sex, relationship advice, and comedy. A lot of fun. episodes available on YouTube now. So.
I'm on Master Debaters, which is a debate-style show on KTSA in San Antonio this week, defending my championship as the Master Debater.
Okay.
Going up against a empty chair and a gentleman named Ryan. The judges are good personal longtime friend Alex Soberman. You can get that at KTSA based out of San Antonio. Shout out to my friend in yours, Dennis Foley. You can watch me every single week on the SBR YouTube channel giving my picks for the UFC fights. And also Catalyst Wrestling every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on Fight TV. That's Catalyst Wrestling every Wednesday night on Fight TV. You can follow me on Twitter at MRyan Consulting. You can follow Harry on Twitter at Harry Terjanian. Manschool202, as he said, is the potting cast. Shout out to Jeffrey F. joining us. Almost missed my main guys. How's it going, fellas? Shout out to you, my man.
Doing good. There's still plenty of card left over. Only 2 fights into what feels, both of those felt long in a good way.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a late one, I got a feeling. We're already at 11:24 here.
Football 245668 asking, are you funny?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, go check it out. I am.
Maybe
I'll say that.
You tell a joke.
You know how asshole. Oh, fucking asshole. You know how that works.
I know.
You know goddamn
I know exactly
well.
how that works.
You know goddamn well.
And also, we want you guys to tweet the loudest city, hashtag UFC loudest city, make it Teaneck, New Jersey. Hashtag UFC loudest city, tag myself and tag Harry.
That at that old woman texted, Teaneck, New Jersey. Neck, where are the willows? Whatever the heck that means. And there you go. All right, that was a little all over the place, but you get the spirit of it. You tagged us. Hashtag UFC loudest city. I don't know why they had Marquez go out and do that. That was a very weird thing that he announced.
I think he was just, because he's from Kansas City, he just wanted to shout that out.
Yeah, I know, but he made it sound like he had coordinated. He goes, I just talked to Dana, as if it might have been just 2 separate thoughts.
Yeah.
But it made it sound like I just talked to Dana, and it's okay to announce this thing, this project we have. I just want you to hashtag.
It's like when Van Halen got together at the 96 VMAs.
Yeah, and David Lee Roth went into business for himself.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You can hear
let us
Olive
know
in the background being a fussy baby.
This is doing her commentary for the dog channel, Bloody El Bone, that we have. Yeah, which Van Halen lead singer do you guys like?
Yeah,
I think it's David Lee Roth all the way around.
Yeah,
Can we do one of those polls? Can we waste our time
we can put it in the chat. Ian Heinisch making his way to the octagon. He's got a TKO win over Gerald Mearshart at UFC 250 that ended a 2-fight losing streak, but both of those by decisions to Omari Akhmedov and Derek Brunson. Started his UFC career with a 2-fight winning streak, both by decision, a former LFA middleweight champion. The 5th highest striking accuracy among active UFC middleweights at 52%. And he's got 5 knockouts, 2 submissions, 7 by decision in terms of wins. He's been submitted once and has 2 decisions, has yet to be knocked out inside the octagon.
Yeah, another fighter who got his contract on Dana White's Contender Series. Mm-hmm. So a lot of those fighters tonight, because again, as we said initially, this is a card of not no names. I don't want to be insulting, but not marquee names.
It's not it's not 259. It's not 250.
These are not all marquee names, but thus far these fighters are taking full advantage of the stage they have been presented with, and it's been impressive displays by everybody involved, even the fighters on the losing end. But let's see if that streak continues here as we wait for Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah,
Kelvin Gastelum.
Yeah, who's the minus 225 favorite? Heinisch is the plus 175 underdog. That is an interesting take from what was that? DraftKings? Yeah, DraftKings. Chuck Eshelman, to answer your question, Harry, Roth, Sharon, and Hagar in that order. Dave from New Jersey saying David Lee Roth, the better front man.
Better front man. Sammy Hagar, better singer, but irrelevant to me.
Ben Patrick Galvez asking what are our thoughts on John Jones fighting the winner of Stipe and Ngannou 2. We covered that at the top of the show. But
we'll wait till it happens. We'll believe it when it happens. As we said at the top of the show, because we have new viewers all the time, there's a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
And John Jones could steal a canoe. Mm-hmm. He could hijack a scooter.
I realized with our glasses, because I got new glasses,
yes,
we both look like 60s music executives.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. We're going to cut those folk albums, guys. I don't think this R&B thing is going to catch on.
Let's take a look at Kelvin Gastelum. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, Harry. to Jack Hermansson, Darren Till, and Israel Adesanya. 6 first-round finishes, though. He's finished 11 of his 16 wins, 7 by knockout, 4 by submission. Those losses to Hermansson by submission and Till and Adesanya by decision. Prior to that, he had a decision win over Jacare, and he was the guy who retired Michael Bisping, which you can hear every week on the Believe You Me podcast with Luis J. Gomez on Gas Digital. 4-2-1 in his last 6. That draw was against Vitor Belfort, which was turned into a draw because of Gastelum being popped for pot. He's knocked out 6, submitted 4, 6 decision wins, submitted twice, 4 decision losses. Both of these guys have never been knocked out, Harry. But in the chat, we have Houston Brantley saying he's got Gastelum by a TKO in the 2nd round.
Okay, interesting. Calling his shots. And as we see, Kelvin Gastelum pacing back and forth a little bit here. A lot of intensity.
Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Heinisch 32, Gastelum only 29. Heinisch with a 2-inch height advantage, 5'11" to 5'9". With a half-inch reach advantage, though, 72 to 71.5 of Gastelum. Gastelum, though, weighing it at 186. Heinisch, 185.5.
And the introductions here from Bruce Buffer. Bright red tuxedo, representing the Bloods, apparently. All right, I didn't know, Bruce. I always thought of him more as a Crip, but you'd be surprised. I should have noticed by the bandana he kept wearing. What? Did that get you?
Him and Tekashi 6'9".
Him and Tekashi 6'9". I would like to see... I like Bruce Buffer, but it would be fun to see him beaten into a gang. Not because I want to see him get hurt, but... like that he's ready, and they're like, "You ready for this?" And then they beat the shit out of him into the gang.
Driving down the street in an all-red Cadillac convertible, blasting Tupac,
playing some Zap.
My dog is really not happy Gastelum's fighting
Oh
Heinisch.
my goodness, she was quiet the entire night and the last pay-per-view.
Yeah, I think she was quiet for most of today, which is why she's trying to get revenge.
Boy, oh boy. See, you made a mistake. You got to keep her up. Just play loud music. Don't let her nap, so she's tuckered out. That's what you do with kids. I got my brother, and said they just keep the kids awake and keep coming up with activities so they don't go to sleep until they have to. Mark Smith,
Cheeto Ortiz saying there's no gang in the world with a member tough enough to jump Bruce. Fair play.
Tough enough.
Jonathan Ron Cohn saying Hager had a better career, including solo stuff, than Roth. Well, let's get this started here.
That's not. I can't argue with that.
Heinisch, a lot of energy, trips up. Gastelum quick with a low kick. Heinisch and Gastelum trying to meet the frenetic energy of Heinisch. Leg kick by Heinisch, trying to shoot the single leg, gets the takedown. Gastelum in trouble early. Gets up, but is in a Luther Campbell position. Trying to fight out of it here. Needed a back of the thigh by Heinisch, the number 15th ranked middleweight, against the number 9th ranked middleweight, Gastelum. Gastelum gets back up standing, now controlling the pace here. Trying to go for a takedown. Trying to shoot a single leg. But good stuff there by Heinisch. Now trying to take the arm of Gastelum. Is Heinisch and Gastelum getting the arm. Trying to go for the Kimura. Trying to lock it in here. Trying to straighten out the arm of Gastelum. Gastelum trying to roll through. Trying to find a way out of it. But Heinisch has the legs grapevine. The right leg grapevine of Gastelum. Over a minute gone by now. 4:04 left to go in round number 1.
Incredible thought process again. Just purposefully grapevining those legs. And still trying to get that Kimura lock.
Just pop that shoulder out. Gastelum finds a way out of it. Tries to unload a few lefts into the face of Heinisch. Now has the back of Heinisch trying to pull for the submission here. And so far in his career, he's pulled 4 submissions. He's 4-2 when it comes to submissions. Heinisch has only been submitted once in his career. So that's a tough road to hoe for Kelvin Gastelum, who now has the back of Heinisch, who's pressed against the octagon. Both men standing.
And now Gastelum pinning Heinisch against the cage, but Heinisch trying to get his way out of there. Oh, lifted up by Gastelum, but Heinisch lands on his feet.
Tried to suplex him, but splaying out is Heinisch, as Harry said, landing on his feet. But once again, in control, and Gastelum gets the takedown, but Heinisch gets the Kimura again! Heinisch locks in the Kimura after the takedown attempt by Gastelum. Gastelum trying to fight out of it. trying to make sure relax his body and make sure that shoulder does not pop out. Heinisch trying to wrench the arm and spin it around 180 degrees in a way it shouldn't be bent. And now Gastelum gets out of it and now trying to control Heinisch from the bottom.
An incredible level of strength from one arm and using his neck as leverage to keep that Kimura lock from being put in place by Heinisch. And Gastelum still on top.
And Heinisch,
pushing off his face
pushing
from
off
the bottom.
And also locking up that arm. But Gastelum still on top, trying to posture up. Drives an elbow, but it turns into a forearm into the face of Heinisch. And then Heinisch rolls through, gives up the arm, but Heinisch will get away. Both men standing, Heinisch missing within a head kick.
Both fighters to the center. A punch from Heinisch, a wild haymaker that lands. Both fighters, a low leg kick from Heinisch, a low leg kick from Gastelum.
2:02 left to go in round number 1. Both men in the center of the octagon. A right hook by Heinisch, not landing.
Ooh.
And a head kick by Heinisch and hitting the jaw of Gastelum. And Gastelum with a combination right-left and a head kick, glancing the head of Heinisch. Heinisch now trying to take the arm, trying to go for another takedown, and now Heinisch eating a couple of right hands to the face and then to the ribs by Gastelum.
Gastelum pressing Heinisch against the cage, driving his knees into the back of the thigh. Just trying to hold on to him, but Heinisch trying to do a judo flip.
Yeah, he was trying to judo flip with that hip toss, and now a Muay Thai clinch by Heinisch, and really loose. And a single leg attempt by Gastelum gets the takedown.
Heinisch right back to his feet, though, doesn't stay down.
Reverse.
Gastelum has a waist lock.
And now trying to go underneath that thigh and try to go for that suplex, and Heinisch gets the arm again of Gastelum, trying to go for the 4th time for that Kimura, but Heinisch and Gastelum standing right back up. Reverse waistlock again by Gastelum.
I don't even know who you give this round to. It's been so back and forth as far as control here, as Gastelum goes for a foot stomp here while he's got Heinisch.
Needle back of the thigh by Gastelum to Heinisch.
And Heinisch keeping mobile, walking around the octagon while he had Gastelum had the waist lock on him.
Heinisch is a powerful dude.
A front kick from Heinisch.
Kick to the midsection. Long hair fat guy saying, Matt Ryan, it's me, Zach Amico.
Is that Zach
I don't know. It's a
Could be
YouTube
Zach
channel.
Amico.
It's the YouTube name Long Hair Fat Guy.
That does describe Zach Amico these days.
And it describes both of us, too.
Yeah, that's true. I was very confused. I didn't understand that we were tweeting ourselves as we have 5 seconds left in this first round. Both fighters in the center trying to... Oh, a high kick.
And then Heinisch slips on trying to match the head kick of Gastelum in a back and forth round.
That was a wild first round, living up to tonight's fight so far.
Yeah, it's been...
Nobody's been taking it slow here. Let's see, Heinisch's corner. You've seen what he's going to try to bring now. He thinks he's coming for this wrestling. Now it's time to mix it up. Let me start seeing that jab. Let me start seeing that cross. The mixture is beautiful. Now what I need to see, a little more of it. Just a little more mixture, I guess he's saying. More energy also, they're telling him. And over at Gastelum's corner, focus on your defense is all we hear from Gastelum as they wrap here. Not much. They're a little bit quieter over in the corner of Gastelum. Round one again.
And here we go, getting ready for round number 2. Chris saying, "Hey Matt Ryan, who's squeezing your nutsack like they're trying to press OJ?"
Oh my goodness. The Juice or OJ Simpson?
I don't know.
I would assume the Juice.
You would think so.
Shout out to OJ, by the way. Follow him on Twitter. Because that's the thing. All right, some kicks here from Gastelum. Another inner thigh kick. Heinisch goes for a low kick. Oh, lands a right cross. Some wild swings from Heinisch. A wild swing from Gastelum.
Throwing that right, and Heinisch trying to pull a takedown after that shot by Gastelum. Nothing doing there, and Heinisch trying to play keep away. A Pat McAfee style kick by Gastelum. Heinisch checks it. And feigning a left, leading with a right was Gastelum. Not landing either or.
Some quick combinations attempted by Gastelum. Both fighters now pacing here in the center of the cage.
They're a lot slower here. They're trying to be more methodical after a very fast-paced round one. But you see Heinisch with some of that energy still. He is still... Ooh, he landed a right and then a left uppercut. Overhand right into a left uppercut. 3:53 left to go. And a jumping knee by Heinisch, but gets caught and taken down by Gastelum.
He did land the knee, but Gastelum did take him down, though, in one swift motion.
Heinisch got a great knee there, but yeah, Gastelum caught him and took him right down. You couldn't choreograph something like that.
And now Gastelum driving the elbows into Heinisch, who's on his back here. And squeezing the neck here. Some hammer fist from Heinisch from underneath, but Gastelum trying to wrap his body around, maybe go for a rear naked choke if he could spin him around.
Trying for something here. Right hands by Gastelum. Heinisch getting right back up, but Gastelum going again for that, just trying to maintain that takedown. Trying to maintain that position, taking the back of Heinisch, who stands right back up. Impressive power by Heinisch, but Gastelum controlling the pace of this fight so far.
Yeah, Heinisch would just get up and slowly make his way up. I mean, he's still on his back, but look at him move. It's like a Terminator that can't be stopped here. Despite Gastelum trying to squeeze him against the cage, he just keeps walking around the octagon here.
Now trying to break the grip is Heinisch of Gastelum, eating an elbow, throwing a right. Heinisch missing with that right, feigning with a left.
A jab by Gastelum that lands. Both fighters in the center of the cage here.
And a kick to the ribs blocked by Gastelum. And a low kick by Gastelum. Missing with the right. Heinisch pressed against the fence. 2:20 left to go in the round. Gastelum in control, pressing Heinisch against the fence. Right hand by Gastelum. Heinisch trying to sneak away from a takedown. Both men down. Scramble back up to their feet. Heinisch landing a left hand.
Fighters in the center of the cage here. Gastelum throws a left cross that barely misses. A high kick from Heinisch. And the pace is a lot different in this second round. But this is what Heinisch's corner asked him to do, is to show a lot more combinations. But Gastelum drags him to the cage, to the side of the cage here.
And then kneeing the back of the thigh is Gastelum. Just trying to wind up.
A knee to the front of the face here. A little bit less energy from Heinisch. He's definitely being worn down here. Gastelum lifts him up, tries to take him down, but Heinisch, quick to get his legs in proper position and still manages to stay up. A rear waist lock again from Gastelum. I feel like we've seen that a lot tonight.
Yeah, that waist lock has been that's been prevalent in Gastelum's offense. Trying to control the pace of the fight and try to pull for takedowns utilizing that. Blocking back and forth uppercut, and now we got fight in a phone booth. 1 minute left to go in the round after a couple shots by Heinisch, pardon me. Gastelum landing a left. Under a minute left to go, low kick missed by Heinisch. Feigning a right, and then landing a left body kick was Gastelum. Heinisch with a little bit of a mouse on his face, missing with the left hand was Heinisch. Under 40 seconds, a knee to the body by Heinisch. Right hand by Gastelum, trying to sneak the takedown. Gastelum landing a right elbow, 28 seconds left to go. Left right, and a body kick by Heinisch right to the ribs. Gastelum trying to slow things down here, but that's opening opportunities for Heinisch, who evades a kick. And now Gastelum trying to go for the takedown. Reverse waist lock now applied again after Heinisch did a bit of a spin move. Heinisch pressed against the fence, just trying to make it out of this round. And now we will go to round number 3, Harry, with this round a little more even than the first one.
A little bit more. We saw a lot more striking and some more combinations from Heinisch, which is what his corner said to do. Let's see. Let's go to so we see some of the highlights here. Oh, inside low kick by Kelvin. And then a flying knee from Heinisch. But he landed it, and man, Gastelum, almost out of instinct, was able to just continue the follow-through and take him down. Let's see what the corners have to say. Gastelum's corner. I need from you is more counters. When he finishes his kick, boom, boom, it's time to drop this motherfucker. great piece of advice with the Boston Strong on the jersey there. Time to drop this motherfucker. It's great advice if I've ever heard that. Yep. That advice is useful in a lot of other circumstances in life. When in doubt, drop this motherfucker. Here we go, round 3. Both fighters, a lot of energy, hopping up and down. They are eager to end this.
Both standing in the center of the octagon.
This could go anywhere here.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting way to end it. Low kick by Gastelum to start things off. Heinisch is back to the fence. Gastelum, the one applying pressure here as we go into round number 3. Gastelum trying to go again for a takedown. Heinisch just scrambling and pressing off. Both men standing in the center of the octagon with 4.5 minutes left to go.
A lot of pacing back and forth here, trying to get position. A lot of back and forth. Not much going here. Different energy.
And right now, if you're looking at this fight, Harry, it's Gastelum's fight to lose. He won the first round. You can give an argument for either guy for the second round. But the deeper this fight goes, Heinisch could have an opportunity to steal it here.
Yeah, most definitely. A lot of back and forth. Let's see here now. Gastelum manages to pin Heinisch against the cage. Again, trying to wrestle him, but Heinisch won't stay down.
And it looked like Gastelum tried to punch Heinisch in the side of the head. Almost ended up being a punch in the back of the head because Heinisch was looking away.
Well, he let him go, and a front kick by Heinisch.
And it's an opportunity here for Heinisch to try to steal this fight, try to steal the victory with just about 3 minutes left to go in the round. I'm Matt Ryan. That's Harry Terjanian. We're trying to give you all the coverage here at UFC 258 live, the fight from the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. We're here coming to you from the Tunnel of Love in New Jersey. We've got Javier from Uzbekistan.
Just pinned against the cage. Gastelum again. It's been back and forth, but he can just never keep Heinisch down. Every time he tries to get him down, Heinisch is, for the most part, able to quickly get up. It doesn't take very long, and pacing around the cage.
Scott Johansson saying, how would you guys score the fight so far? I'd give, it's 10-9 round 1, 10-9 round 2. I'd give both to Gastelum, who's in control here as Simone trying to barrel roll.
He was in control.
And he gets the back of Gastelum, now trying to pull for the submission.
Rear naked choke.
Gastelum getting the left hands to the head by Heinisch. Heinisch trying to pull the victory off here in the third round with 2:09 left to go. Barrel rolls, keeping Gastelum, keeping the back of Gastelum, trying to pull for that RNC, trying to finish the fight with 2 minutes left to go.
He's trying to go for the rear naked choke. Gastelum doing a good job of making sure his arms are in place so he can't wrap it underneath his neck, but he's taking a lot of hammer fists for his trouble to the side and out of the front of his face. Heinisch going forward here, wants to get that rear naked choke, tries again. But Gastelum doing a great job controlling the wrists to make sure that he can't lock it in. Heinisch gives up on that, just starts to get on top and continues pounding him. Again, going back for the rear naked choke by Heinisch. But Gastelum doing a good job of squeezing his way out of that. Now Gastelum is on top, trying to drive his forearm into the neck, hammer fists of his own to Heinisch. With 1 minute and 20 seconds left in this third and final round.
Inside, and both men standing once again, minute 16 left to go.
Heinisch gets up again and again, moves her way around the octagon.
And barrels, does a cartwheel, does Heinisch to get out of it, but it might have taken his breather.
Here we go, and Gastelum throwing some combinations here, but Heinisch clinches him. Now throws some punches to the ribs. Gastelum knees him from that position. Both fighters split.
50 seconds left to go in the round. Shout out to Dan Sardi from the UK. We apologize for Olive being an asshole, but she is a less than a year-old dog who doesn't like being cooped up.
Heinisch with a takedown attempt, and back and forth here until both fighters get back up to their feet, but Gastelum trying to push Heinisch against the cage again.
Throwing right hands, and Heinisch a little limpy there, pulling away from that exchange. Missing with that left was Gastelum. Both men breathing a bit heavy here, but look like they could play another fight another 5 minutes.
And a takedown by Heinisch. But with 10 seconds left, there's not much going on there. Some hammer fist from Heinisch.
And takes the back of Gastelum, but this one will be going to the scorecard. Second straight fight going to the scorecards, Harry. As one more takedown by Gastelum, and I think that one will seal it. Another 10-9 round for Gastelum.
I mean, this has been a great back and forth fight. A lot of great wrestling, some great strength from Heinisch to be able to keep from being kept on the ground, kept from the side of the cage. I mean, look at how exhausted Gastelum is from this whole situation. Look at some of the fight highlights here. Oh, a kick to the inner thigh from Gastelum. Close to a dick kick. But a high knee, again, the high knee by Heinisch that was carried down by Gastelum. Just some more combinations back and forth. There was a lot of striking. As this fight went on, there was more and more striking between these two. We see some more highlights. Gastelum with a final takedown on Heinisch, but Heinisch then grabbing him into a front face lock, Kimura choke.
Heinisch had a hell of a fight here.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you could see that his face is a little swollen up. This is the fight Kelvin Gastelum needed. He needed to prove that he can still mess around with the top 15. Right now, I think it's Gastelum. I think Gastelum wins this fight. I think he took it's 30-27.
I mean, judging the way it is, I wouldn't be insanely surprised if somehow it ends up being Heinisch, but I do agree it should be Gastelum. Let's see. Here we go, Bruce Buffer. Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. 30-27, 29-28, 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, Kelvin Gastelum.
Kelvin Gastelum getting a unanimous decision here, 29-28. I gotta wonder what round those other two judges gave Kelvin Gastelum to make it 29-28.
I don't know. I mean, maybe the first one?
No, I would think the second round. If you're looking at any of those 3 rounds, the second you can maybe make an argument for the third, but the second round was the clearer of the two for Heinisch to get a 10-9 in his favor in that second round. The first round was pretty heavily Gastelum, even though you can make the argument that Heinisch had a good performance in round number 1, but I think round number 2 stood out more. But you know, I'm not a judge, but the correct call was made. Kelvin Gastelum won that fight.
I don't have any complaints about that, to be honest. A great fight. I mean, and another situation of a fighter who ends up on the losing end still looking pretty impressive because Ian Heinisch was so strong throughout this fight.
And for those asking, we'll give our prediction on the main event right before the main event walks into the octagon.
Still 2 more fights left here tonight. Let's see here as they set up for the interview. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just here off camera.
But yeah, a big win for Kelvin Gastelum, getting his first win in 4 fights, ending a 3-fight losing streak that included, as we said before, a loss to Jack Hermanson by submission, and then back-to-back losses to Israel Adesanya and Darren Till by decision. And that's in reverse order. People asking for the Cowboy Diego fight. Not a lot of early thoughts on that yet. I haven't really done my research on that fight yet. I'm excited for that one. There's no dog fighting. Garrett Whitcomb says, who needs to buy or steal a pay-per-view when you've got Matt Ryan? Dude is electric.
There we go.
Just loud. Harry, we've got Kelvin Gastelum and Joe Rogan.
Let's see. Kelvin Gastelum saying, I'm very happy. Rogan saying, why are you so emotional? Kelvin saying, it's been 3 years since my last win. Coming back to back losses, it's not easy to get up here again and again and again after failing a few times. It's not easy to get motivated again. But listen, anyone that's going through some stuff, some failures, some setbacks in their lives, listen, you guys can do it if you get your mind right, get your body right. Let's keep going, baby. I know it's been hard. It's been a tough 1.5 years for a lot of people. Let's do it. Rogan says, Kelvin, you came into this fight against a big, powerful wrestler against Ian Heinisch, but you really managed to control the wrestling. You had some fantastic moments on your feet. This was real championship caliber fight. You look like a real veteran in there. He says, thank you. I know I expected my experience to pay dividends. That happened, and also my wrestling, getting back to my wrestling roots lately. And I've been doing a lot of good stuff at his academy and King's MMA. They've been helping me out. So thanks to my team and all these guys. Rogan says, you're still at the top of the heap in this division. You're still one of the very best 185-pounders in the world. With this victory over Ian Heinisch, what opposition would you like to see next? Kelvin says, I know there's a big fight, Acosta, and I didn't hear the other. If one of those guys falls out, I will be ready. Rogan says, Calvin, enjoy this. Welcome back to the winning side. And Calvin says, I want to give a shout-out to Ricardo Testad and a lot of people, my family back home. It's all for you guys. Wowie, wow. I'm going to take a moment here to refill my drink. But that was a hell of a fight.
Certainly was. And yes, we apologize for the dog. There's no dog fights going on. It is just a very fussy puppy who does not like being left alone. She is fine. You guys can not mention it anymore. Take a look at the chat here. And shout out to Chris who runs a rescue. Let us know what that rescue is. We'd love to support it. We've raised money in the past for the Chow Chow Rescue of Central New York, where Olive came from and where Chubby, our former dog, came from. Shout out to the Chow Chow Rescue of Central New York, and shout out to all no-kill shelters out there. Let us know what rescue that is. We'd love to support it. We love supporting dogs here on the show. Olive is a rescue. She is just about 1 year old. She turns 1 in about 2 weeks. And a shout out to my dog Coco back home in New York City. Her adoption day is tomorrow. Her 12th anniversary of being adopted. So we love to support dogs. We love to support animals. Scott Johansson with the best line: pet dogs drink whiskey. That is a life philosophy that I hold myself to. Maycee Barber and Alexa Grasso are coming up next at your co-main event. Grasso a -125 favorite. Barber a +100 underdog in this battle of the number 10th and number 15th ranked flyweight in the world. We don't let the dog out because she'll run amok and run wild. And
then we also have to answer the question as to who let the dogs out.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. Copyright. We get sued by George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelics.
And the Baha Men. I'm going to get
Atomic
more
Dog. You get some more water?
Yeah, you talk to the chat.
There we go, everybody. Say hello, everybody. You get the dog drunk yet? I mean, it's hard. The dog refuses to drink whiskey. I mean, they're trying to train him, but it's a lot harder than you think. The shelter's name is DDR, Detroit Dog Rescue, the only no-kill shelter in Detroit. And shout out to no-kill shelters. They do an amazing thing here. Walking home, who won the Gastelum fight? Gastelum did. So there's your answer. Who wins the fight out of these two? Be honest, Harry. God, I don't know. For me, it's been a crazy toss-up this whole night, to be quite honest. So I can't tell you. I mean, you look at Barber, she's 8-1. Grasso's 12-3. But she is 3-3 in her last 6 fights, Grasso. So I mean, Barber, the record looks good. She's on a hot streak. You got to go with Barber on this, to be quite honest. You guys are good. Thank you very much. Me versus Matt. Well, I always think I can win a fight versus Matt. Matt's saying he'll piece me up, but he's using slogans from 2003, so that might go to his benefit. Bare knuckle style, Paige Van Zandt style. I'm not crazy enough to do bare. I guess it would have to be bare knuckles. We're not doing a sanctioned fight. Then again, we never determined that. You got Harry. I'm a -240 favorite. Matt's got hands, probably, but they're usually filled with drinks, so wouldn't be useful. Let's see as they prepare to bring everybody down there. Van Zandt. Oh, Van Zandt. You guys have been excellent. Well, we appreciate it. We're bringing you some coverage of these fights. For those of you who don't feel like shelling out the cash, maybe you can't shell out the cash. But if you've enjoyed what we're doing, do us a favor. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Follow us so that you know when we're doing that, whether you're a part of Combat Culture, Bloody Elbow, or MMA Mania, wherever you are following us tonight. Make sure you leave a nice comment, a like. That goes a long way to reach other people. Also follow my social media stuff if you want to see me be funny. You can go to @Harry Terjanian on YouTube. Those are where my stand-up clips are at. And my podcast, Matt Men. That's Andrew Zarian's podcast. Man School 202. It is late out here in Jersey.
It is just about midnight as Alexa Grasso. 4th highest striking defense in strawweight history, 63.4%. 8th highest striking rate in UFC strawweight history, 5.25 strikes per minute. 4 wins by knockout. Toker 88, Matt Liver of Stone Ryan.
I mean, it may not be stone at this point. It's definitely hard as a rock, let's be honest.
Shout out to Matt Ryan from the fake Trevor Lawrence. Shout out fake Trevor Lawrence. If you're the real Trevor Lawrence, follow me on Twitter. HJank12, when's the first time? We've been doing play-by-play since September of 2019, so we're glad to be here.
It's been a long time. We've done one Bellator and all the UFC pay-per-views, and then also a Mike Tyson, Roy Jones Jr. fight. So we get out there.
Yeah, Nevin Grubik asking, Matt, how did you get your hair this long? Self-loathing and a pandemic. That's pretty much how it goes. Shout out to JF who subscribed.
The beard makes you look like Billy Connolly, but without the beard, it's very Paula Poundstone-ish.
Fair enough.
So you got some decisions to make. I think you got to get it thinned out. I got to get mine thinned out a little bit too. This is getting a little too long.
The only thing thin about me.
Well, there you go. Get some layers. I like your glasses. Whose glasses?
Yeah,
there's 2 of us here. Be more specific, because one of us needs to win this emotionally. As
Jesse Goss asking, where's the puppet?
If you're referring to Dan A. White.
Dan A. White could make an appearance tonight. We don't know. We could see the puppet after the main event.
Dan A. White, who has no relation to Dana White at all.
No.
But we'll see. Dan A. White, you never know when he's around, and you never know how much he's been drinking when he's been around.
And this comment encapsulates Dan A. White, the puppet that snorts cocaine.
Yeah. I mean, I would
fair.
say allegedly, but I think he said it.
Yeah, that's
accurate. I think
accurate.
he said that he snorts cocaine. It's very weird. He cooks it and then he chops it up.
Yeah.
It's a very odd thing. So he makes it crack cocaine, but then he takes the crack cocaine
and chops it down.
Chops it into lines. Very odd here.
Maycee Barber tied for 4th most knockouts in UFC women's history with 3. Finished 7 of 8 fights, 5 by knockout, 2 by submission. And we're taking a look at more of Maycee Barber here. Last time we saw her was a loss to Roxanne Modafferi. Prior to that, she had 5 straight TKO wins dating back to the LFA in 2018. This is the biggest fight to date for her, co-main event on a UFC pay-per-view. Not only to see how she deals in this situation, but on top of that, dealing with her first pro loss, coming off of a loss to Roxanne Modafferi by decision back at UFC 246. That's going to be this is a huge test for her coming off for Grasso, who was fighting Yi Jeong Kim back in August. She's 3-3 in her last 6.
Be the difference maker is how she comes back from a loss. I mean, we've seen it before. A lot of fighters are great when they're on a hot streak.
Yeah.
And then that one loss sends them spiraling out of control. As we take a look at the tail of the tape here.
Grasso 27, Barber 22, both walking in at 5'5". Barber with a half a pound weight advantage, 126 to 125.5. Grasso with a 1-inch reach advantage, 66 to 65 from Barber.
Bruce Buffer, dressed like the captain of the Love Boat, is making his way to do the introductions here. 25 years tonight in the business for Bruce Buffer.
Shout out to Raffley, who's its birthday today. Happy birthday,
Happy
Raffley.
birthday.
Dan Sardi asking what I'm drinking. I am drinking right now Snake Dog, an IPA from Flying Dog, which is my 3rd beverage of the evening. I'm trying to find the ABV, 7.1% alcohol by volume.
Yeah, so much like old school broadcaster Harry Carey, you are drinking in the booth.
I'm pulling a Bob Murphy.
Openly, back when you could just do that.
I feel like that's why I'm not getting hired for Better Cakes.
Well, maybe.
My rider is a mini fridge.
Yeah. Well, you can show up with your own bag full of mini vodka bottles.
Yes. I am a professional announcer outside of here. I've called college sports, pro sports, all of them sober. This is the only time I drink.
I think, yeah, that makes sense. It's all for creating the home studio.
Yes.
It makes it a lot easier. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
We're in the tunnel of love.
We're in the tunnel of love.
Yes, we keep changing locations, but the studio is exactly the same.
Am I wrong, or do you not live in each studio that you set up?
Well, yes, I moved back.
Isn't that part of the problem why you have to keep moving studios?
That's
because
true.
they eventually find out you're living there,
yeah.
and you bring the dog with you?
Yeah, that's true. Keith Peterson, our referee, once again for our co-main event. And here we go, Grasso versus Barber. And Barber throwing some right hands, trying to keep distance here. Grasso in black. Barber just throwing some hands here. That same energy we saw Ian Heinisch have in the opening round of the last fight. Low kick by Grasso not landing. And a low kick by Barber. A quick right hand by Grasso.
A little bit confusing with the black and white thing. Yeah. They're both wearing black and white.
And both not landing any shots.
Ooh.
Barber gets caught up into a clinch. Grasso trying to control here, but pressed up against the fence. 4:15 left to go in the round. Turns it around on Barber. Now stuck in it. Almost like Grasso tried to go for the eyes of Barber, but that did not go. Now both struggling and trying to find a takedown here. Grasso pressed up against the fence. Single underhook by Barber. Grasso trying to punch her way out. Nothing doing there early going round number 1. Switching positions again as Barber is pressed up against the fence.
Barber trying to squeeze her way out, but taking a lot of the knees to the stomach here from Grasso.
And Grasso tried to go for a leg sweep, but Barber buggy whipped her own leg to get away from Grasso. 3:35 left to go in the round. Grasso trying to maintain a vertical base here. Trying to go for the takedown as Barber tries to maintain a vertical base as she's pressed up against the fence. Right hand and answering back is Barber with a right and a left. Both females standing in the center of the octagon. A few right hands trying to create some spaces. Barber, that smaller cage, creates a tough situation for either fighter. Super kick attempt by Barber did not land. Tried to slip out of the way of a left hand by Grasso, but Barber almost got caught that time with a low kick. Eats a right and a left from Grasso, did Barber. And there's that frenetic energy again from Barber. She's throwing a lot here. She's trying to keep a lot of pace. It's a lot of nervous energy. Comes right in for a takedown. Tries to go for the underhooks. Goes for a knee, but once again gets pressed up against the fence by Grasso. Grasso confident, waiting, trying to find the pocket. Barber seems very busy and has a lot of energy, but can't direct it in the right low.
Oh, a hammer fist to the side of the head. Oh.
And punches to the face by Grasso to Barber. Barber in control, pressing Grasso up against the fence. Shout out to Lucas on Surf Patrol in Sydney, Australia. Thank you for listening here tonight and joining us, and thank you everybody around the world watching us across the Combat Culture Network. With 2:08 left to go in round number 1. Grasso pressing Barber, and a lot of fence sitting here. A lot of back and forth trying to jockey for position, and right now this is a good thing for Barber. She needs to slow down. She needs to control the pace of the fight. A lot of that energy has opened her up into these situations to where she's pressed up against the fence, eating a forearm from Grasso, but changing positions again. It just looks like they're barrel rolling each other along the cage, Harry.
They're going back and forth here. I mean, Grasso had control for most of it, but now Barber is the one who's landing a lot of knees. But then again, Grasso lands the upper hand here by pinning her against the cage. It is a lot of back and forth, Muay Thai clinch and a knee from Grasso.
And
who now finds herself against the cage again.
And against that collar and elbow tie up into a waist lock by Grasso. Minute 20 left to go in the round.
It has been back and forth this entire time here. Some more knees by Grasso.
Trying to alternate that interlock, and a right hand followed by a left by Barber. Barber saw blood, but she ate a shot from Grasso, threw a wild left and did not land. 1 minute left to go in round number 1.
Grasso in the center of the cage. Barber in the center of the octagon. Looking for something. Both fighters back and forth here, trying to figure out what to do next.
Yeah, it's the waiting game at this point for Barber. And going for another takedown attempt, eating a shot, throwing a wild elbow, and a right missed by Barber. Not a lot of movement here. Barber throwing a couple of solid shots, might have busted up Grasso's nose, but she had to eat 2 to land 1.
And now in a position where Barber is stuck up against the cage. Grasso driving some knees, but Barber trying to fight her way out of it, not staying still, with 19 seconds left in the first round here.
And then once again, that interlock takedown attempt by Grasso. No movement to the ground. No real takedowns here, Harry. But Barber trying to control the pace and trying to like turn her elbow.
Grasso trying to go for a takedown, but the round comes to an end.
And Barber tried to go for a horizontal elbow shot, did not land, and you can see a mouse under her left eye, and it looks like maybe something underneath her right eye. I don't know who you give that round to, Harry. I'm inclined to give 10-9 to Barber because she controlled a lot of the pace, but it wasn't really enough to give it an emphatic and anything in her favor.
Barber's corner telling her you got to disrupt her rhythm. Okay, you got to disrupt her rhythm. What do you got? What can you do to disrupt her rhythm? You got to bring that elbow in, and they show the highlights here.
That left hand by Grasso was stiff, an overhand left, and then a right elbow by Barber into a left hand.
And both of them doing the old Rocky III where they both land a punch, and then Barber finding her way out of that scrum, but it was just a back and forth. Yeah. Nobody could just either of them would get 2 or 3 combinations in, and then they would just get turned around. But here we go, round number 2. Referee Keith Peterson starts up. Here we go. Both fighters to the center, bouncing around a little bit.
Barber with a low kick, eats 2 right hands from Grasso.
And the waiting game continues.
And Grasso switching her stance, misses with an overhand right, and that frenetic energy again from Barber.
She's one of those fighters who switches to southpaw and then goes back and forth.
Feigning with the right and the left. Charles Woodson saying Grasso with the lightning quick hands. Congratulations to the former Raider for being nominated and to be inducted in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And Grasso controlling the center of the octagon, waiting for Barber to step in. Barber staying away, trying to load up, both fighters missing a litany of shots there.
Oh, Grasso landed that one. More combinations, but Barber goes for a high kick.
Missed that head kick bad.
Both fighters trying to land some big punches, but the consistency hasn't been there. I think neither wants to get pinned up against the cage again, as they did in the first round.
They're trying to keep their distance from each other, but in this smaller cage, it's really just trying to find the pocket. Barber feigning shots, just feels like she's got to get the energy out. And an overhand right lands on the jaw, but Grasso walks on through and lands solid shots to the face of Barber.
And now Grasso stalking Barber, but they go do a do-si-do into the cage here. For the moment, Barber has it, but Grasso trying to squeeze out of it, land some hammer fists.
Sydney Hernandez asking who the dog is rooting for. The dog is neutral. She's calling the fights for other dogs. That's what she's doing right now.
She's being an independent broadcaster,
and Kathleen
unbiased.
McDermott, if you want, fuck you, Kathleen McDermott. You're banned.
What happened there? Huh?
She said, kill the dog. Fuck you.
Kill the dog. All right, that's absurd. Here we go in the middle of the fight. Again, another do-si-do. I mean, Barber grabbed the waist, but she gets spun around, and now Grasso trying to flip her over. But they both end up pinned against the cage here. For now, Barber has control. But Grasso now takes control. It is a back-and-forth situation here, pressed up against the cage. Same old here. Barber, this has been the phase of this fight. This has been the story. They've been going back and forth to try to get control. Every once in a while, Grasso lands some knees to the stomach here. But then Barber takes control. You know, it's back and forth. And both fighters break it up. Back to the center of the octagon.
2:09 left to go in the round.
A left cross from Barber that lands.
Lands with a right. Right hand by Grasso.
Some big shots landed, but both fighters back to the center, being very careful with 1 minute and 50 seconds left in this second round here. Barber bobbing and weaving.
Minute 45.
Feigning some punches from far away. That's a little confusing. She had no shot at landing that. A front kick that also misses. Let's see the situation. Grasso tries to sweep the leg, but misses. Some more feigned jabs from Barber. Ooh, she lands a
head kick. Does Barber.
And Barber pounces on Grasso.
And Barber in trouble here. Grasso playing keep away with the legs and now catches the arm and locking in an arm bar, trying to lock it in. Barber rolls through and Barber trying to find a way out. And she does somehow. Barber rolling out of it and pressing that right arm through.
Well, you couldn't see it, but she managed to grab her hand so that she couldn't extend and get the full arm bar. And it was just enough for her to be able to bounce around. She clinched her fist, but at the moment, Grasso is on top here. But a lucky situation just to survive that. Barber trying to push off the cage here. Grasso. Uh-oh. Now a situation here.
Grasso has side control, trying to lock in a submission. Now has the back of Barber. 30 seconds left to go. Barber in an RNC. Grasso trying to cinch it in, trying to finish the fight, trying to get the submission here.
She doesn't have it locked.
She doesn't have it locked. Barber trying to break it off, trying to make sure her chin is pressed against her chest.
And she's got 10 seconds to try to survive it.
She's just got to maintain. She's got to maintain and try to win in the third round.
Grasso
5 seconds
goes for
left.
It again.
Grasso has the back, trying to lock it in. Can't lock it in, and we go to round 3.
So close. I don't know if maybe she could hear her corner letting her know how much time she had left, but she was barely able to survive that. Gave up her neck and her back a couple times there. As we see the highlights here, some big shots landed in between. A lot of crazy shots taken that didn't hit, but the ones that did were pretty intense here. This side kick that goes right to the armpits. And as we see here, Grasso.
And trying to go for that. Transitions into kind of like a key bar.
Great positioning.
And
all right, this is sorry, excuse me, jeez. I got intense. The elbow threw me off for a second.
The camera
was
got
so
elbow.
close that I was like, oh, excuse me. I thought I was too close. I'm a little tired too, but for a second I was like, sorry, I didn't mean to get in your way.
And sorry if I'm a little off my game, guys. I'm just a little concerned about the dog. I know she's fine, but my anxiety is just a little.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a shitty job, I apologize.
No, you're doing fine, but it's a lot going on. It doesn't help that these two fighters kind of look really similar, and they're both wearing black and white.
And Barber, once again, that frenetic energy. She's just shadow boxing in the middle of the octagon, misses with a head kick.
I mean, she's feigning a lot of those punches. She has no shot of hitting. It's very odd. Like from 3 feet away, then she goes for a haymaker that misses.
Kyle Harvey on Periscope saying it's 19-19 in his opinion heading into the third round. I can see that. I can see it being 19-19.
It could go either way.
You could give the first round to Barber. I think you give the second round to Grasso. This round, definitely the tiebreaker. Wow, that right hand by Grasso.
Just barely misses.
Right uppercut, barely misses.
Both fighters back to the center of the cage. Nobody wants to be the first to make a mistake here.
And you would think that if you have this smaller cage, you would try to utilize the pressure and go for another submission or another takedown attempt if you're Grasso, but Barber playing some great keep away here early in round 1, 4 minutes left to go, both standing in the center of the octagon, and Barber just staying away. Low kick by Grasso, but nothing really going forward.
Barber goes a little bit forward, starts going forward ironically, but back to the center of the cage. Some missed kicks by Grasso.
And Grasso pressing Barber up against the fence. Barber trying to fight out of it, trying to get away from it. Now double underhook attempt by Grasso has one. Barber trying to fight the other one. Trying to transition out here with 3:25 left to go. It is late here in New York City, or wherever the fuck it is we say we are. 3:18 left to go in the round, and trying to knee her way out of this is Barber, who's pressed up against the fence, trying to melt her way out of it, and basically Alex Mack herself out of being pushed up against the fence.
This is the longest that either fighters maintained control, I think, in this fight.
It
Grasso
feels
had
that
it, but
way.
now she loses it.
And Grasso once again pressing.
Now she has it again.
Yeah, pressing Barber up against the fence, pressing her up against the octagon, but Barber gets a takedown, but immediately delayed and grapevined by Grasso. But Barber standing, getting back up to a vertical base, lands a right hand, evades the legs, gets the takedown, maintains the takedown, and now trying to go for a guillotine, lands a knee as both fighters get back up. A left hand landed by Barber, and we're throwing hands with 2:30 left to go in this fight.
It's been interesting so far. Barber getting on her bicycle, trying to move out of those punches. Barber throwing a lot of haymakers here. Missed a couple, and a third and a fourth.
Throwing hands is Barber, pressed up against the fence is Grasso, pressing the left arm underneath the jaw is Barber onto Grasso. Grasso pressed up against the fence, knee to the side by Barber. Barber trying to go for another takedown, high arching knee not landing, inside knee to the midsection by Grasso landing. Both competitors trying to aim for the takedown, overhand right landed by Barber, overhand left landed, Barber with a left cross, lands, misses with the right, tries to shoot another takedown, Grasso stuffs it, and now putting Barber up against the fence.
Grasso trying to apply pressure, driving those knees into Barber's stomach. Grasso exchanges some knees of her own. And again, it's more back and forth on this cage here because now Barber takes control. She tries to sweep the leg, but Grasso uses defense to grapevine the leg.
It's been close and contentious all fight long. Under 90 seconds left to go. And Barber trying to get the win here, trying to get back on the winning track after her first loss. This has been a good fight by Barber, but Grasso is here to play as she gets pressed up against the fence now and trying to take her down is Barber. Grasso trying to stop it, right hand to the face by Barber.
Back and forth, and now Grasso has Barber pinned against the cage here. With less than a minute to go in the third round, something has to give here because this has just been back and forth, and I wouldn't know how you judge a winner. So far, some more knees by Grasso. She's got to get more aggressive here if she wants to win this in the last 44 seconds.
And pressing up against the fence is Grasso.
Barber with some knees. It's an exchange of knees while both fighters are trying to press each other against this cage.
Under 30 seconds now left to go in round number 3 before we go to the scorecards. Overhand right landed by Barber. Barber with another overhand right. That one will miss. Slipping is Grasso, who landed a quick left. Now try to put it up. Overhand right landed by Grasso. Barber trying to keep the pressure going here with 10 seconds. Spinning karate kick by Barber, not going, but she'll get a takedown with 5 seconds left to go. She's just trying to score some more points. Needed a face, and we will go to the scorecards at the UFC Apex.
A fast pace, back and forth in a weird way to that fight. I have no idea who you give that to. What's your thought of that?
I can give round 1 to Barber. I want to say Barber won round 3. You split the first 2 rounds. I think Barber gets the decision win here.
Well, let's see. It would be hard for me to argue, but there's a lot of... It was a very chaotic fight throughout this. I mean, some great stuff as far as the wrestling, but it was back and forth. Nobody really maintained a significant amount of control. And even the strikes, there were times where there was a lot of wild punches thrown by both fighters, and then there's some heavy shit that landed. A takedown, as we see the highlights here. We prepare for Bruce Buffer to do the introductions. And
I can see the Vegas judges giving it to Barber, even though some people are saying Grasso should win that fight. Let's take a look at these stats here. In round 1, significant strikes 14-9 for Grasso, 18-9 for Grasso in round 3, but 22-10 in round 3 for Barber. So Barber turned the tide there.
Definitely turned it on in round 3. For sure.
You can give her, I think round 1 was much closer. I can give round 1 to Barber. I can give round 3 to Barber. But I'm not the judge, so we will go to the scorecards, Harry. When Bruce Buffer starts to make the talk speak, let us know what the deal is.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecard. All 3 judges score this contest 29-28 with a winner by unanimous decision, Alexa Grasso.
Alexa Grasso getting the win, 29-28 across the board. A solid win for Grasso. I can see them giving her that win, 29-28 across the board. Harry, your thoughts?
Again, it's just it was a lot of back and forth. Maycee Barber did some great stuff in there as well. Grasso comes out with this. I understand the scoring. It can happen, but a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of misses here, a lot of wild swings, like I said. Yeah, it was kind of chaotic in many ways, but doesn't matter. Alexa Grasso gets the unanimous decision here. Now she moves to 13-3.
And one of Grasso's coaches ripped off the thumb and finger for his protective gloves because of COVID to unlock his phone.
Oh, wow. Oh, he just did it now?
Nice head. Nice head. And Harry, once we go to the interview here, I'll pivot to you. I'll take a quick walk for a second.
No worries. No worries. Let's see here. Some tweets from Steve-O. Celebrities tweeting here.
Nico Price putting over Grasso's boxing. Grasso's boxing was great, but it was also her ability to keep things consistent against the fence. That being able to rotate against the fence and kind of stymie Barber time and time again. Bianca Andre saying, just show us the fight. No one's interested in you guys. Hey, go fuck yourself. How about that? How about
Bianca Barber? Bianca Barber.
Benica Barber. Benica Andre, not Bianca Barber.
Well, you're an asshole, Bianca. You're an asshole. Here we go, Joe Rogan. I am here with the winner, Alexa Grasso. Alexa, congratulations on a huge, huge win. You showed us so much improvement in this fight, particularly with your grappling. How happy are you with this result? She said, I trained so hard since the last fight. I just want to say thank you to two special persons. Forget, I can't understand the names. Obrigado. Let's see, speaking Spanish here. Alexa, Rogan says your jiu-jitsu shocked a lot of people. When you went down, you immediately started attacking with an armbar. You used that armbar to improve your position on the top with your triangle. Alexa, shut up. She said, I told you, I'm working so hard. I can't tell you. Every fight, I'm showing you that I'm better and better. I want to evolve. But as you know me as a striker, but as you can see, I'm always trying to improve. But I'm working very hard on my jiu-jitsu, my grappling. I want to be full in all areas to climb the rankings. My name is new, but I'm trying to get in the right step. Joe Rogan says, we know you as a complete mixed martial arts fighter now and a contender in the flyweight division. Tell me, how difficult was it for you to make that strawweight weight limit, and how much better do you feel that you don't have to cut that much weight anymore? She says, well, when I first started fighting, I realized I wanted to be in that division. No matter what, I wanted to be in that division because I wanted to, but it was very, very hard to be cutting that much. My weight is kind of the same, but the difference is now I can grow my muscles, train harder without all that cut. So my body is saying thank you so much. Rogan says, Alexa, thank you so much. Please enjoy it. And we can't wait to see you in the octagon again. She says, I can't wait to see all you guys again. Alexa Grasso, ladies and gentlemen.
Stop saying the A word.
Oh, is that what that was?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it was. I didn't even.
What else did you think it would be?
I'm trying to keep track of Rogan's thing.
Our boss, Mr. Myers, messaged me. Turn off your Amazon devices.
Yeah. I did tell it to shut up. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I heard that. Olive just needed some water, by the way. So I refilled that. Okay.
Let's see here as they're just going through. What are they promoting? The UFC new merch.
No. UFC? If there's a contest, you can watch the fights from that fancy little UFC fancy box.
The restricted area.
Yeah.
All right. Kamaru Usman warming up here. All these fights have gone the distance tonight, pretty much, with the exception of the
first fight of the night.
Did it not?
No, that was the submission in the third round.
Right. Marquez but it was like 15 seconds left. I'm saying they've just been lengthy fights tonight. So,
shout out to Paul Valenti, loving this commentary, really enjoying it.
Hey, Paul.
Benica is saying 17 viewers. Sir, you're just on one of many platforms we're on, so go fuck yourself.
And you're one of them, stupid.
Yeah.
You're contributing. Don't complain. This restaurant sucks. Why do I keep going to it? Because you're an asshole. As we see highlights. What is this for here now? I get a call from...
Oh, it's a package about Kamaru Usman.
Let's see. They aired on part of UFC Chronicles.
And Jesse Goss, Jesse just donating $5 to the cause. Thank you, Jesse, for donating $5.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Amongst the many things we did tonight, we got to the bottom of who the better lead singer of Van Halen was. I do believe it is David Lee Roth, the best front man for Van Halen. We were also, for a minute there, taking your action films. Your favorite action films.
Yeah, we've gone full morning show, Harold.
Yeah, it's very odd. We're going to be doing the time and temperature in a little bit, and we're going to be doing War of the Roses coming up very shortly.
I was in one of those ones.
Oh, War of the Roses?
Yeah.
I did a couple of those.
Yeah.
I did a couple of those phone calls.
I felt dirty doing that. Like,
it wasn't great.
My pride and integrity as someone who believed in the power of radio. We're doing a radio-style stream, and I did that for money at a point in my life where I really kind of just needed cash.
Boy, you look at that, doing that prank phone call, that fake prank phone call, the way people like turn tricks. You're like, I'm not ashamed.
It's emotional
prostitution.
Yeah, it's emotional prostitution.
Let's see here.
C. Martinez driving back home. Thanks for the fight company. Thank you. Like, that's the fun thing about this show. Like, we got people like Toker. We've got guys like Number One George who join us every show. No, Maxwell Irwin. We caught Jesse's donation. Thank you again, Jesse. You guys are mensches, and you know what? The guy what was the name of that shelter in Detroit? The Detroit Dog Shelter, DDC, I believe.
DDC.
DDC. My man's who runs the shelter. Please message me on Twitter at MRyan Consulting. DM me. Would love to work with you guys on a way to raise money for you for UFC 259. See if the bosses who are watching are cool with it. Text me and let me know, and you know what? We'll bring back the Don Fry print. Okay. The Fry Takayama print. We'll bring that back for March and raise money for the dogs in Detroit.
And some people mentioning Die Hard as their favorite movie.
It's a good Christmas movie.
It's good. David Lee Roth is the best frontman, but not the best singer. Agreed.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
Yeah.
DDR is the name of the Detroit Dog Rescue.
Detroit Dog Rescue. Thank you for doing it. And it's a no-kill shelter, so thank you for doing that.
Yeah, we want to raise money for that shelter. We want to raise money for all shelters. Like, dogs are very important to me, to Harry, to Steph, to all of us here. And Alexander Diaz, thank you so much for donating $5 to the cause. Thanks for this, guys. We're working. I can't see the fight, so keep up the good work.
There you go. Thank you. We're almost at the main event here. What has been a very entertaining card so far, yeah. I would say. It was pretty good. I mean, especially considering the low expectations we have, it did not disappoint, but we'll see what the main event brings us here as Kamaru Usman and Gilbert Burns go at it. You're seeing the highlights package right now, some of Gilbert Burns' greatest hits, literally. Just back and forth. The power in those fists is pretty incredible from Gilbert Burns.
Shout out to Salvador from Nicaragua. Tracy B saying adopt, don't shop. Exactly.
Don't do that. Adopt.
People asking who we got in the main event. I said this on SBR the other day, and I'm going to say it again. I got Kamaru Usman.
Yeah, I got to go Kamaru.
It's hard for us to go up against anybody. Like, Kamaru Usman's a monster. He is a beast. Gilbert Burns, too. Nothing to take away from Gilbert Burns, but we take a look at the past couple of fights here for Gilbert Burns.
Jorge Masvidal. I'm sorry, Kamaru Usman defeating Jorge Masvidal in July. That was huge. Huge. I mean, it pretty much stopped the momentum that Jorge Masvidal had.
Yeah. So, like, we've got, the win against the Masvidal back in July. This is his third defense of the welterweight title. His first defense was against Colby Covington, and we called that, that was a fucking decimation. And it was the first stoppage. Yeah, it was the first stoppage when Usman had since 2017 against Sergio Moraes. Usman's knocked out 7, 1 submission, 9 wins by decision. He has only been submitted once, Harry, and that was in his second pro fight.
Wow. Okay, so this is potentially an interesting main event. We will see what happens. Is that a different weight class for Kamaru Usman? And we see the highlights package continues. Finally, the fighters are going to make their way to the center of the cage.
And Mike Keeley saying in the Facebook chat, you guys should consider the short time required of Masvidal. Yeah, no, that's fair. Like,
I agree, but it's still Jorge Masvidal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's...
And no matter the situation, it's a title fight, and Usman and Masvidal went the distance, if I remember that correctly. But even then, like, it's still what he did against Colby, how he earned the fight. And Gilbert Burns, his last opponent was Tyron Woodley back in May. And it was a decision win. And he didn't finish Tyron, but neither did Usman. But you take a look at the wins that Burns had heading into tonight. It's a win over Woodley. It's a TKO against Demi and Maya. Decisions against Gunnar Nelson, Alexander Kuchenko, Olivier Aubin-Mercier, and Mike Davis by submission. Sure, the last person he lost to was Dan Hooker by knockout, and that was in 2018. You look at the road to this title fight for Burns, and obviously he's earned the title shot, but when you compare opponent to opponent, the last couple of runs for both of these fighters, you got to look at it on paper and say Usman's had the better fights. He's had the better opponents.
And a very odd aesthetic move. Burns comes out in almost knee-high socks and sneakers. Just a silly thing. And he folds his socks, which is very interesting.
Shout out to Zach donating $5 for the cause on YouTube. Much appreciated, my friend.
Yeah, we appreciate everything you do for us tonight. It's been a very weird but fun card tonight.
Mike Keeley saying he's got Burns by submission. He won't beat Usman standing up, but will Burns be able to take this one to the floor?
Yeah, can you get him down is the key to try to get any type of submission on him. As
Gilbert Burns gets greased up by the cut man, 6-fight winning streak. He's undefeated at welterweight, 10 first-round finishes, and a 4-time World Jiu-Jitsu champion and a BJJ black belt. Gilbert Burns is legit. You're not going to get
no doubt.
This is a definitive pay-per-view main event.
No doubt. No doubt. If anyone can take him out, Usman out, it's him. But I still think Usman is just so impressive every time I see him.
Yeah. Another lost joke.
And let's see. And Burns rolls into the ring for some reason. A lot of energy.
Yeah, he just straight up did a lucha roll.
A lot of energy. Just pacing back and forth here. Came in walking very confidently. We'll see how Usman makes his way to the cage. A lot going on, a lot of dancing back and forth from Burns.
He is ready for this. There's a lot of energy there for Gilbert Burns.
When does the fight start? Right about now.
Yeah, they're
folks,
making their
just
way.
Bear with it.
They're making their walk to the octagon in our final fight of the evening, and I am pleasantly surprised with the way this night has went and the way this card has went. We could have been here for a very long time tonight, but it is 12:30. This is what we like on this show. Great fights, great conversation.
Yeah, it's been a blast here. A lot of people in the chat saying they think Burns is going to take it.
Yeah, Burns has a lot of momentum behind him. He's a very popular fighter, and a lot of people don't like Kamaru Usman for one reason or another. People who run buffets definitely don't like Kamaru Usman. You don't remember he and Colby got into the fight at the
that's
Palm
right.
Buffet?
I forgot about that. Oh, come on, fellas. Can't we just... Let's keep the peace. You got to do the thing where you go, let's step outside.
Shout out to Brapco donating $5 for the cause. Just discovered you. You guys do good work. If you ever need a writer, let me know. We're not in charge of editorial. I am the town drunk. That's actually my title. Drunkus Emeritus. At SB Nation.
I'm the guy who's getting too old for this shit.
That is fair.
That's what I bring into the table.
Yes.
Let's see here. The Nigeria Nightmare making his way.
The Bearded Irishman asking, how much do you guys miss buffets? I really don't.
I love a buffet. I love a hot food buffet.
I could give a shit, really.
No, I love it. I like choosing what I do. I like having my freedom. That's the way I represent my freedom. This is America, goddammit. You're not gonna tell me how many fish sticks I can have.
Who's telling you? Who's controlling how many fish sticks you eat?
I just don't like it. Well, I also do keto, so I don't like the thing where it has to be a sandwich. I'm not eating the fucking bread. Get out of here with that. Everything is sandwiches or rice or French fries.
Thank you so much for Gabe Renya. I appreciate you guys commentating. For those of us who don't want to pay or get busted by Dana,
there you go.
That is exactly why we are here. That is our literal job. Bruce Banner's on bar saying, but you're not drunk yet. This is very strong.
It's a fine line. Just wait. There's 5 rounds in this fight.
Yeah.
So
I've had no alcohol tonight in terms of spirits. I have had beer.
That's such an alcoholic thing to say, though. I haven't had hard liquor.
Well, usually I'm like 4 drinks in. Kamaru Usman, a 16-fight winning streak, number 5 ranked male, pound-for-pound fighter in the world, winner of the Ultimate Fighter 21 welterweights and representing Team Blackzilians. Coming off a unanimous decision, as we said, this is his 3rd defense of the welterweight crown. When it comes to fights, he's never been knocked out, never lost a decision. He's 9-0 when it goes to the scorecards, while Burns is 5-1. He's never been submitted, but Burns has been knocked out once, but he's knocked out 6 different opponents.
Well, as Usman makes his way into the octagon, stops for a second to meditate before he finally steps foot.
I believe he's praying.
Praying, perhaps. It's funny. I look at it as meditation. Fair enough.
Yeah, same.
Fair enough. Nothing wrong.
Whatever gets you hacked.
Whatever is trying to get Usman trying to center himself one way or the other before he gets into this cage, which is a big fight.
Shout out to Sharon Kinzer. My husband and I found you for the last fight and absolutely loved it. You guys do an amazing job. Thank you. Can I tip? Of course you can. Just down, there's a little $sign button. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape really quick. Burns 34, Usman 33. Usman with the height advantage, standing at 6 feet to the 5'10 of Burns. Both men walking in at 170 pounds. Usman with a 5-inch reach advantage, 76 inches to 71 for Burns. Not Frank Burns.
Or Monty Burns.
No.
Anyhow, Bruce Buffer, who would win a fight, Frank Burns or Monty Burns? In their prime.
In their prime, I'd still go Frank Burns.
Neither of them can fight. I guess Frank Burns is technically
he's got the size. Frank Burns has the size, and he's got hot lips in his corner.
That's true. Hot Lips Houlihan. Shout out to MASH. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't heard of it.
It's on Hulu.
Is it?
All of it's on Hulu.
God damn. All 11 seasons. The cover of war that only lasted, 5? Something like that?
3 years? It lasted 3 years.
It's a great show, guys.
Yeah, it's a great show.
You can tune in after the fights are done to MASH Talk, After MASH.
Just episodes of After MASH.
After MASH, the podcast. Bruce Buffer doing the introductions. Roy Jones Jr. shouting, "Let's get it, y'all!" At UFC.
Thank you to Jesse Ghost donating $2 to the cause. Jonathan Roncone talking about Spear Chucker Jones.
Oh, yeah, the character on MASH.
In the movie and only in the first season of the TV show.
A couple episodes.
I think I have watched MASH all the way through 15 times in my life.
Okay, and that's a good goal to have. Have you moved on from a show? What other show? You like to binge watch an entire series a lot of the time.
I'm rewatching Fargo and I'm rewatching The Sopranos right now.
Okay. I feel like The Sopranos is an annual pilgrimage for you.
Yeah. It's I'm bored and it's either that or The West Wing, so...
I'm tempted to rewatch Breaking Bad again, but I just remember how disgusted I felt by the time that show was done. It's a great show all the way through.
I like the season finale.
But by the time you get to the end, it is not fun to watch.
Kevin Ward saying, "Damn, I'm going to watch MASH now." Holy shit.
MASH is great. Check it out. Also, Columbo. Some of these shows are underrated. You don't need all the new shows.
Tommy Wyatt saying, "Had to leave the bar because my girl was hammered. Thanks, boys. We are here to provide a service."
Oh my goodness. Sorry that your Valentine's Day weekend is off to a rough start.
Yeah. Tucker 88. Yes, Fargo is amazing. I'm rewatching season 2. I need to finish season 4. Usman being introduced. He's the minus 265 favorite according to DraftKings.
With the Nigerian flag behind him. And just bouncing around a little bit, dancing back and forth here, left to right. A lot of energy from Usman. I wouldn't define it as nervous energy. He seems pretty confident.
Yeah, no. Oh, and he's stepping right to Burns.
Burns.
Oh, they ready to fight. Oh, they ready to fight or kiss. I'm ready for either eventuality, to be honest with you.
And getting right nose to nose, the security has to separate them.
That endless love lighting they do for the introductions. And then, Herb Dean, your referee. This is the first time I think we've seen Herb Dean.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. He didn't referee. I mean, there's only, 5 fights on the thing.
Yeah. News Radio was a great show, too. Jonathan Roncone. News Radio is
phenomenal. Phenomenal. Speaking of Joe Rogan, check out Joe Rogan's finest acting work.
And Sports Night, also very good.
Sports Night is very good, too. Even though I'm not usually an Aaron Sorkin guy, but we can get into that on another time as we're about to start this fight.
Shout out to Mike B donating $4.99 and Burns stepping in with a right hand to start things off. Sharon Kinzer donating $4.99 to the cause. And we got Burns with a kick to the body, keeping the pressure going. Low kick by Burns, trying to get things moving here in round number 1.
Burns comes out on fire here, but both fighters back and forth now, and the back in the center, bouncing back and forth here. Another kick by Burns.
Left-right combination followed up by that kick by Burns. Usman trying to get out of the starting blocks here and try to add some pressure, but Burns has been dictating the pace. Right hand by Burns sends Usman down, checks his chin. Usman in trouble, standing but eating shots by Burns, and we got ourselves a fight in a phone booth. Low kick by Burns. Usman's chin gets checked and tested early, but Usman pressing ahead with a straight left hand.
Boy, I mean, for a second there, it looked like he was in trouble. He caught a couple, but managed to get up. Both fighters back to the center here, kind of bouncing around. Nobody wants to make a mistake here, but Burns... Oh, gets a high kick,
but blocked! Burns on his back, and Usman kicking him in the tuchus. Another kick to the bottom. And Burns
fighting from underneath there, literally. Keeping his feet in the air, not wanting to get up. At some point, Herb Dean may stop this, but so far, Usman continues some kicks to the soles of the feet of Burns. Take what you can get, I guess.
He's going to have calluses on the soles of his shoes and not diamonds, Burns, if he keeps this up. And an Eddie from Tekken kick from the bottom by Burns. And now Usman trying to control his legs like he's holding a baby trying to diaper him.
At this point, you can make a gif of breakdancing later on with these, with what Burns is doing, just on turtling.
And can kicks by Usman, and it looks like Burns almost got punched in the junk, but it was to the midsection by Usman, completely slowing the pace of this fight down. Sandy Brofax, thanks for donating $10 to the cause.
It does look like a baby that doesn't want its diaper changed, as Burns continues to kick his feet, not allowing Usman to do anything.
And a kick to the hip by Usman.
Let's be honest, a kick right to his ass.
Yeah.
And another one from underneath, says DJ Khaled.
And another kick to the ass.
Another ass.
It's a literal ass kicking.
Getting an ass kicking here. But still on his feet.
And the rototiller that are Gilbert Burns' legs. Burns was dominating the first few seconds of this fight, but Usman got him down.
Weeks ago, motherfucker.
And that push kick by Burns trying to pop the knee, dislocate the knee of Usman, and Usman throwing a hammer fist from his standing position. Doesn't land. Burns almost gets caught in the chin trying to get up. Another kick to the thigh. And now trying to hold him in place, just kicking Burns in the thigh and holding him. Oh, Burns almost caught him into a triangle or a guillotine and needed a face by Burns. Burns just lights him up, and then 3 shots to the right in the clinch by Usman.
Burns able to work his way up there, and Usman was in trouble for a second, but both fighters back to their feet. Usman throws a couple punches that land here. Another jab from Burns. Both fighters in the center of the cage here trying to feel each other out. Now it's back to a stand-up fight.
Yeah, I don't know who to give this round to so far, but we got another minute 50 to give it out.
I mean, he was literally kicking his ass. I might give it to Usman with a minute 40 left, but there's still some time for interesting things to happen here.
And the deeper this fight goes, the better it is for Usman fighting those championship fights, fighting championship rounds. Low kick by Usman.
But Burns has caught him a couple times here. Nothing to keep him down, but a couple times. A high kick by Usman.
Needed a body single leg caught by Usman. Burns pivots his way, rotates out of it. Both men still standing. Minute 17 left to go in round number 1.
A side kick by Burns misses. Both fighters the center of the cage here.
Right hand by Burns does not land. A shot by Usman misses, then another one. Right, then a left landed by Usman. Minute 3 left to go. Right. And a left and a knee blocked by Usman. Under a minute left to go in round number 1.
Burns landing a couple shots that have rocked Usman here. Usman landing a couple of his own.
Missing with the right the left did Burns. Left landed by both fighters. Overhand left by Usman. A right hook by Burns to the body. Head kick checked by Usman. Left and in a takedown attempt by Burns. Missing on that one. Did the challenger.
A side kick by Burns. Swings wildly. Usman, with 25 seconds left, takes a swing of his own. Both fighters center the cage. They do look a little exhausted here. A jab by Usman.
15 seconds left to go in the round. Burns looking tired, breathing a little heavy, trying to pile on, trying to steal the round, trying to win the round. I don't even know about stealing it. 5 seconds left to go. Left hand landed by Usman. And another left by Usman. And this one will end round number 1. And both guys talking, smiling, throwing each other some respect. But what a round from both fighters. That overhand right thrown by Burns. If he was able to jump right on him, the fight would have been over.
I mean, if you look at some of these highlights, though, again, Burns landed that on Usman and rocked him for half a second. But Usman able to stay on his feet, and able to land a shot to the ribs here. As Usman's corner, keep him on the back end. When he looks like he's going to strike hard, we'll start picking up the pace in a little bit. He's slowing down already. They're telling Usman. One more round.
He kind of did press the pause button on Burns for the middle of that round. Yeah. Kept him on the ground, kind of kept him away.
You're a champion because you're jab, baby. You're a champion because you're jab. So some advice from Usman's corner.
And Burns breathing a little heavy, looking
tired. He does
tired.
look tired. Usman looks slightly tired, but ready to go.
He's not selling it, though.
Yeah.
But Burns
is
immediately
breathing
starts
heavy.
for a right hand.
He's breathing heavy here, but he's maintaining center control of this cage. Although Usman spinning back and forth, kind of deciding when he's going to take his shot here.
Sweep kick by Burns does not land, but a left by Usman to the jaw does. Another straight left from the champion. Missing wildly with a right was Burns. Left landed by the champion. 4:30 left to go in round number 2 of 5 for the UFC welterweight title. And Burns trying to lead with that left hand, trying to find some distance. Left from both fighters not landing. Low kick by Burns does land, trying to take out the outside leg of Usman. Burns getting hit with one of his own, though. Usman landing a straight left. 4:05 left to go in the round.
A wild side punch from Burns.
But
he's landing a little bit.
He landed a quick 1-2 combination and a body kick, but Usman checks that and lands a right hand to the face after pushing Burns away. Missing with a left were both fighters. Shout out to PD Northside up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. Trying to keep the pressure going here. Eric Coburn from Montgomery, Alabama watching us right now. Left hand from Burns not landing. 3:36 left to go in round number 2. And a low punch almost by Usman, not to Burns. There we go.
Something's got to give here. We've got 3 minutes and change left.
Missing with that right was Burns. Burns leading with his left. Wild uppercut attempt at 3:16. What left to go in round number 2 by the challenger. Feigning a left, and Burns sold it from Usman. Circling around. Burns controlling the center of the octagon, but Usman just following around, just trying to keep pace, utilize his reach. Left hand landed by the champion. Left hand landed by the champion, but a right hook landed by the challenger. Both men look impressive physically, but in round number 2, you're starting to see a right hand by Usman! Sends Burns reeling! Burns against the fence! He is turtling up! Usman lining him up, but Burns trying to eat it. Left hand by Usman, sending Burns against the fence again! Burns in trouble, trying to shoot the takedown! The champion stuffs it and pushes him away and presses on with 227. Another left hand from the champion. Another
jab by Usman.
Overhand right blocked, but Usman sees the keys to the kingdom. Left hand, Burns' nose is getting a little bit of blood, a little bit of that crimson coming out.
He's a little wobbly, Burns is. Usman going in for the kill.
Overhand right again. 2 overhand rights land by Usman. Straight right by the champion.
But Burns still on his feet.
I don't know how overhand right by the challenger not landing. The champion in clear control here. Another left hand from Usman. Usman trying to light the lamp and close out the show here in Vegas. Another straight right from Usman. Low kick 45. By Burns.
Yeah, it looks like Burns. Oh, a high kick from Usman, followed by a combination.
Another right, left, and a shot to the body missed by the champion, but another straight left. Burns coming out with a powerful right hand, not landing, blocked by the champion. 93 seconds left to go in round number 2.
Usman trying to go in for the kill here, but Burns just refusing to stay down, eating punch after punch, and now he's moving forward.
Yeah, 2 straight lefts. Burns pressing ahead, trying to create an opportunity, creates some space, but a left hand, and knocks Burns down, and he's on his back again. 35 significant strikes to 12. Usman for Burns in round number 2.
He might have broken his foot or something on that. It was very odd. Usman checked the kick, and Burns almost voluntarily went down. But now
something happened there. I can't see any swelling on the foot, but I think Burns just his reset button got hit for half a second. He got cooked clean on the nose.
Herb Dean brings them both to their feet here with 50 seconds left in his second round.
45 seconds left to go now. Harry Terjanian and Matt Ryan here calling a great fight between Kamaru Usman and Burns. Left hand thrown by both fighters. Usman follows up with another left hand. A left hook from hell by Burns, but Usman eats it and keeps walking. 30 seconds left to go in the round.
Burns finds himself in the center of the cage here. But Usman still looks like he's got some pretty good wind here.
Yeah,
Burns looks exhausted.
Usman is turning it on and off. He's finding ways to conserve his energy. He sees those moments to attack, and Burns trying to go for the takedown, trying to steal the round, almost eats a knee, but missed by the champion.
4 seconds left here. See if anything happens, but they should go to the, that's the end of the round. Herb Dean breaks him up.
Oh, and it's a little content. Oh, it's getting spicy inside the octagon. Usman knows he's controlling the fight, and I think he's psyched out Burns. He's in Burns' head now. This is the least effective we've seen Gilbert Burns in quite a long time inside the octagon, if ever.
Here's corner. Let's see. You have to punch. Yeah. Trying to get a translator here.
Shout out to Carson K donating $4.99 to the cause. Your commentary is amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you. And thank you, Ben Rodriguez, for your nice words.
Wow. Gilbert's corner saying, when you turn your shoulder... it's coming in pieces. So sorry there. Look, you see the highlights here. A big jab from Usman that lands and shakes up Burns. And another one. I mean, Burns got some shots in, but none with the power you see that Usman has. And that one rocked Burns for a little bit. Able to survive this fight. This one also took him off balance. Okay, so yeah, it wasn't from a foot check. He kind of slipped, but it doesn't matter. Here we go. We're starting round 3. Herb Dean says, let's do it.
Both men standing in the center of the octagon. Great job, Harry, letting us know what's going on inside the cage as legally as humanly possible. Over 10 seconds gone by. No strikes thrown yet. Both men throw a left. Usman, the better of the two on that exchange. Low kick missed by Burns. Oh, and another straight right sends Burns down to the ground, and Burns in trouble. Burns eating shot after shot, like at the bar at the Continental over on the east side of Manhattan. In trouble is Burns, and that's it. It's over. Kamaru Usman walks in and destroys Gilbert Burns to retain his welterweight title.
Usman, he saw the opportunity, went in to finish it, and Herb Dean gave Gilbert every chance to recover from it. He just couldn't do it. Fist after fist from Kamaru
Usman.
Kamaru Usman. I'm all tongue-tied here. Fist after fist.
What a performance from Kamaru Usman. Shout out to Amir Ali Ziafet donating $4. Thank you to Darren Harris for donating $2.99 to the cause.
And Kamaru Usman kneeling in the center of the octagon here, and watching the doctors look at Gilbert Burns, who is in a lot of pain.
He is
on
not
the ground.
doing well. Those shots to the nose, because it was just straight punches, straight to the face, just keep coming at him. And
like I said, referee Herb Dean was there the entire time trying to give the benefit of the doubt to Burns to fight back, and it was just too much. And Usman was very methodical with the strikes. A lot of power, but was not going crazy, waiting for his opportunity, and when it happened, he capitalized.
It was a pressure gauge.
Yeah.
He knew when to turn it on. He knew when to turn it off. He was able to be hyper-aggressive when he needed to, and he saw his openings, and he knew over the pace of the fight, he was able to land those straight shots, and you can see Burns' face tells an entire story there. The sadness, the anger, the frustration of losing in this big moment, and then just the swelling and the blood. I think his nose is broken, Harry. I think that's
I wouldn't doubt that. I mean, just finally regrouping and Kamaru Usman. What's going on with me? This has been a long night.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, it's been a long night, but Usman finally getting up, showing his respect, making sure that Burns was okay. If you see the highlights here, jab after jab, and they were powerful too.
Yeah, that's straight right to finish the fight. John Bennett, thank you so much for donating $5 to the cause.
And then as soon as Burns went down, Usman pounced on top of him, and you can see Herb Dean right there. to see the second that Burns was no longer able to fight back, Dean stopped it. And Kamaru Usman goes to 18-1, rightfully excited about his victory here. And let's hear what he has to say with Joe Rogan in a
shout out to SBC donating $4.99 to the cause. Best commentary. Thanks. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Arbor X donating $2 and $2.29 in euros, so €2.29. I don't even know.
Nice.
The left guy is Masvidal. Please come back to the UFC. So they think you're Jorge Masvidal.
Oh, Jorge Masvidal. Yeah. Listen, I'll take that at this point. It's better than Josh Gad.
Mike Schmeling saying, "Harry, go to bed."
Oh yeah, am I visibly tired? It's been a long night. I don't know
and you
what.
got a flight tomorrow too.
I do.
Thank you, Mike, for your nice words. And Usman is not. He is very emotional right now.
He's crying almost.
I think for him to beat someone who's so close to him in such a way.
Yeah, we forgot. Yeah, it's his training partner.
Yeah. And a great moment for Kamaru Usman, his third defense of his UFC welterweight title. What a night and what a win for Kamaru Usman. And you can see that love and respect from Gilbert Burns.
The tears openly crying from Gilbert Burns. Disappointment. A lot of emotions here as the two embrace here currently.
And he ties with George St. Pierre for the most consecutive wins in UFC history.
Wow. Usman giving some words of encouragement.
Just took 34 seconds into round 3. And Gilbert Burns should not feel deterred by that.
I mean, that was still a great performance, but, Usman was just too strong, too methodical,
yeah.
a great discipline, patience.
He had the right strategy. He's a champion, and he's a world champion, and he proved it. Like, Kamaru Usman may be one of the most untouchable fighters in the world right now.
Yeah, it's a very competitive here, and some of the commentary they're still talking as you can see Gilbert Burns is very frustrated, just weeping. He is just weeping openly here with his corner. Wow, yeah.
I don't think he's ever been that definitively beaten before, and it's a rough go of it. That's a rough road. And he's tied now for the second longest winning streak in UFC history with 13. He is tied with George St. Pierre and now behind only one man, Anderson Silva.
And Usman saying something to Dana White. To Rogan maybe on the way out.
We'll see what it is.
He's gonna talk to Rogan in a.
Yeah. Put some respect on my name. That might have been it.
Usman saying that he's the varsity guy.
Huh. Chris Cruz donating $2.99 to the cause. Thank you. King James, stop the androgynous crap. What the fuck does that even mean?
What does that mean?
I don't know. It's because we have long hair?
I guess.
Nary a goddamn clue. Who is City P? Thank you guys for this. Thank you for joining us.
And I think
we wouldn't be able to do this without you
preparing
guys.
For the interview here. Joe Rogan, I am here with the undisputed welterweight champion of the world and still Kamaru Usman. How does that feel, sir? Usman says, this is amazing. This was a tough one. A very, very tough one because, the whole gym situation, me leaving, and first and foremost, guys, you cannot discredit what Gilbert Burns has done in this division. Regroup, put it all together, moved up in weight classes. We started together. We started this journey together. And he showed it tonight. He put it all together. He's not knocked off one guy after another to get to this point. And I've said it. I'm the varsity guy. My fight IQ is different. It's different when you're in the gym with me. When you get in here, it's different. It's a different ball game. I'm a whole nother savage. From start to finish, I'm a whole nother savage. And you saw that tonight. Rogan saying undeniable. Let's talk about the fight. Is there anything in the fight that surprised you coming out of? You came out of the gate very fast. What were you thinking those moments with his right hands? Usman saying, I know he hits hard. The funny thing is that's how my majority of my sparring was. He would buzz you. For a guy that was a lightweight and moved up, he's got so much power in those hands. And anybody else in that division, sorry, it's getting mixed up here. He caught me early in the first round, one of those big hooks behind the ear, and I felt it. I did. I thought, shit, okay, the 1s and 2s, all right, let's go to work now. And the rest was history. Rogan says you start establishing the jab, and Trevor Whitman said you were a champion because of your jab. Your jab was a huge weapon in this fight, and it proved to be a huge weapon, not just from orthodox, but from southpaw. He says, yeah. When he and I first kind of started and I was striking, my old gym, there was a lot of that Dutch kickboxing, which it gets you tough. It gets you tough and lets you see a lot of shots from different angles. And when I was just kicking the bag myself, I wanted to work that southpaw. I wanted to work the jab. And I knew I had a good jab from southpaw. So that's why I wanted to switch. That's why you see me in my fights. I switched to both stands. I just worked it a lot. And that's the one thing we worked at the camp. Just need to stay on the jab. You need to focus on the jab. And I just listened. I listened to my coaches. This one was hard for me, because it's hard to come in without all the emotions. Gilbert's a guy that I've known from the start. I love him. And this one was tough. Rogan says, you still met him at the center of the octagon before the fight and got in his face. Why did you do that? It's a little out of character for you. Usman said, this is my cage. I'm the undisputed welterweight champion for a reason. This is my cage. I don't care who you are. When you step in the cage, there's no friends. He said it himself. He said himself, I have something he wants, and he's coming to take it. So when you step into my cage, we have to go to work. So from start to finish, there are no friends in there. There's no friends at all. I had to go in, and I had to do what I needed to do and win this title. Like I said, I am the best on the planet for a reason. Now, everybody else, put some fucking respect on my fucking name. I'm the fucking welterweight champion for a fucking reason, and I'm here to stay. Rogan saying, I know you're hyped up, but I don't think there's anyone not putting respect on your name. Without a doubt, you're one of the greatest fighters in the sport, if not the greatest welterweight of all time. It's an honor calling your fight tonight. Congratulations. Enjoy it. Take it in. And I cannot wait to see you defend your title again. Usman says, thank you. I appreciate it. Before I go, we got this little street thug calling himself Jesus, thinking he's Jesus. Joe, we tried to make that fight several times. But he kept backing out. The only reason this man took the fight, because it was on 6 days' notice, and he had a built-in excuse. And he's still running his mouth, talking. He broke my nose and stepped in on 6 days. Guess what? It's not done. I'll give you a whole training camp if you sign on that dotted line. Because this time I'm going to finish your ass. That's the fight you want, says Rogan. Another round with Jorge Masvidal. Any one of these fools can get it. Any one of these. But he keeps running his mouth. If he's going to talk, step in here and you got to see me. Step in here and see me. Rogan, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. Congratulations. One of the greatest ever, and a great promo by Kamaru Usman.
And shout out to Karen Brownlee for donating $2 to the cause during that. What a fight. What a win from Kamaru Usman. It's Chedward asking. He saw the notification, wanted to know how the fight ended.
With an ass kicking.
Just a right hand from Usman sending Burns down. That was the third, I think, knockdown of the fight.
And let's not forget the literal ass kickings.
Yes, literal kicks in the ass. Now fourth all-time in title wins in UFC welterweight history. Kamaru Usman behind Pat Miletich, Matt Hughes, and George St. Pierre.
Wow, let's see here. Incredible night of fights. Incredible.
What a fight. What a win. Harry got his flight rebooked. It's a happy ending to everything. No, I'm looking at the chat here. Thank you so much, PD Northside, and happy Valentine's Day to you. Happy Valentine's Day to everyone. To my Valentine Olive, to everybody around the world who celebrates Valentine's Day. I hope you enjoy it, Harry. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you and yours enjoy it.
Will everybody?
I'll just be drinking.
Peace and love, as Ringo Starr would say. Peace and love, peace and love. What better way to celebrate Valentine's weekend than with some ass kickings?
Yes, and thank you, Cody M, for donating $1.99. Thank you, Toker88, for your compliments, and thank you everybody who joined us tonight. Who is a good fight for him next? I really think I think the Masvidal fight's the best possible fight. Like, I think that's going to be a great fight. I'm excited to see what comes of that. Like, that's the whole issue right now, is what happens next, and Masvidal may be the best option.
I do love the after-fight promo by Usman just saying, I'm tired of the excuses. You're still running your mouth. Look, you take a fight. That's your responsibility. That's the reason fighters don't take those fights at times. That's the reason, you can call it cowardly or not, but if you get your ass kicked, that's on you. 6 days notice or not. I mean, that's the reason that it didn't happen, but that's your call. I don't know that you get to run your mouth, but Jorge Masvidal does what he wants, but Usman wants to shut him up, so we'll see if that happens.
And excited to see that fight. I'm excited for UFC 259. 3 title fights. The return of Amanda Nunes after her wife gave birth to their first child. We have Israel Adesanya moving up to light heavyweight. We've got Peter Yan defending his title. Blachowicz defending his title for the first time. It is going to be a happening in March when we are back here with you for UFC 259.
It's crazy. Hope you join us. We're always thrilled that you take your time. You have many things that you could be watching on YouTube. And thank you for joining us.
Now we will let you go back to your Jake Paul videos and MASH reruns. But Harry, looking forward to the next one. And any final thoughts?
No, just a really great card that delivered despite the low expectations, because it wasn't a high name value throughout the card, with the exception of the main event. But it turned out to be just a great card, and MMA and UFC delivers again, top to bottom. It was fun to watch. So
another card, as Harry said, defied our expectations from the beginning of the night to the end of the night. Kamaru Usman proving that he may in fact be the greatest welterweight of all time, with a definitive win against Gilbert Burns. And the deeper this division gets and the more challengers he faces, the more he'll be able to prove that. But we've got another fight card coming up in March, and it's a big one. We've got Jan Blachowicz defending his UFC light heavyweight title against Israel Adesanya. We've got Amanda Nunes, as I said, returning to action. And we've got Peter Yan defending his title for the first time, I believe, against Aljamain Sterling. That is going to be one hell of a card, and you're going to want to join us on March 6th, I believe, at 9:45 Eastern Time. Be sure to join us early. We go right on the air at 9:45. But Harry, I think it's our time to go. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody here. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Just trying to make sure if anybody's got anything else to say.
Just like and subscribe. If you enjoyed what we do, please like and subscribe to us. Check out my stuff at Harry Terjanian, all my social media and my stand-up, and my podcast, Man School 202. Please subscribe.
Follow me on Twitter at MRyanConsulting. Follow Olive on Instagram at Olive the Fat Baby. Shout out to Stephanie Sotilli being masterful in moderating our chat tonight over at Combat Culture. Follow her on Twitter at Steph Sotilli. You can follow her on TikTok at God's Unwanted Daughter. And follow Olive again, Olive the Fat Baby, on Instagram. Until then, Harry, you're Harry Terjanian. I'm Matt Ryan. Follow us on Twitter. Thank you so much for all of you for joining us. Until next time, we're going to say so long.